very good morning. Welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show this Monday, the 23rd of January, 2023. Good morning, Zoe.
Good morning, Katlego. Oh, what a wonderful way to actually just realize January's almost done. We're in the final full week.
Yes.
But you know what? We have lots of excitement coming your way.
Absolutely.
Because it is Monday and it's time to be inspired.
Yeah, but how was your weekend, by the way?
My weekend was really good. In fact, it was a little bit busy. I hiked Table Mountain on Saturday. Yesterday, I was supporting friends running Bay to Bay. So it was an adventure-packed weekend.
And you can say it, you were also supporting the red and white team that won yesterday and is now top. No?
No.
Okay, those are other bays. But we'll inform you about all the happenings on the sports field, and hopefully you had a great weekend as well. If you didn't, don't worry. We're here to hold you close for the next 3 hours and ensure that you have a great start to the week. Now, filmmaker and media practitioner Nash Makado will be joining us this morning to round up today's biggest headlines and keeping up to abreast with the current affairs of the day. And there's lots to really get our teeth into, isn't it?
There definitely is. And if you've been paying attention to South African news over the last couple of days, you'll also know about this story because we have Director of Four Paws South Africa, Fiona Miles, who's going to be keeping us informed of Sheba the tiger's capture and everything that had happened in that scenario.
Absolutely. And as I walked in this morning, there was a group of like 20 guys all dressed in tuxedos, looking very dapper with a bit of a we're talking the Mzansi Tenors. They are here for your entertainment on this Monday morning. I couldn't imagine a better way to start, eh?
I can't either. Well, there's one thing I can think of.
Which is?
Saying good morning to G-Man.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, I'm trying to muster some cheer this morning. I just can't, man. I just can't. Now, I will be magnanimous and say congratulations, Kat. A stellar weekend of sports. I hope you are all still buzzing after this weekend, regardless of where your allegiances lie. It was a wonderful opportunity to get out of work, connect with family and friends, and possibly run into, yes, a tiger. Good morning from my side. I think a lot of people were absolutely shocked at the possibility of seeing a tiger roaming around their area. If that happened to you, this is our question this morning, what would you do? What would you say? Please keep it PG, bearing in mind we are a breakfast show, but we'd love to hear from you this morning. How would you react if you happened to see Sheba wander into your backyard? We'd love to hear from you. We're going to have a lot of fun. In fact, if you want to chew on any of the gristle this morning, chat about absolutely anything on the show, please do that. 063-408-8863 is the WhatsApp line to use. We cannot wait to get that conversation started. In fact, let's give you a couple of conversation starters right now and catch up on current affairs after a busy weekend. Then I'll delve into the sport.
The time now just 3 minutes past 6 o'clock at a time to reflect on the news headlines this morning. On the national news front, Eskom's CEO Andre de Ruyter says the chance that phase 8 load shedding will have to be applied is diminishing. Now he says it's expected to be reduced in the coming week as generation capacity is improving and sufficient diesel has been purchased. Meanwhile, phase 2 load shedding was introduced at 5 this morning and will apply until 4 o'clock this afternoon. From 4 o'clock, phase 4 will be re-established until tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock. Phase 1 load shedding will be in place tomorrow until 4 in the afternoon, when phase 3 load shedding will again apply. Now, South Africa's table grape harvest is expected to decrease by a substantial 15% this year. The SA table grape industry says that it is due to adverse weather conditions. The lower Orange River region, one of the largest producing areas in the country, is set to decrease by more than 8%. This as late last year flooding in the area saw many vineyards underwater. Now, a farmer, Gabriel Fuyun, who exports his grapes to the United Kingdom, said that the big gap was due to the heat fluctuations in October and November. Now, reflecting on international headlines on this Monday morning, on a visit to Senegal, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has spoken of how America and Africa are still impacted by the legacy of slavery. She was speaking on Gorée Island, which is the largest slave trading center, or which was rather the largest slave trading center on the African coast between the 15th and 19th centuries. She voiced, quote, an overwhelming sense of sadness and pain thinking about those stolen from their families. Yellen said tremendous strides had been made in both Africa and the US, but people were still living with the brutal consequences of the transatlantic slave trade. In other news, 10 people have died following a shooting at a ballroom dance studio in California City in Monterey Park. Police say another 10 people were injured. The suspect is still at large. Now, the shooting happened on Saturday night at about 10 o'clock. Thousands of people had earlier gathered in the city for the Monterey Park Lunar New Year Festival. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department said they were seeking a male suspect who has fled the scene but did not provide any other details about him. And then finally, a bit of good news. Edwin Buzz Aldrin, the second person to ever set foot on the moon in 1969, after crewmate Neil Armstrong married his long-time lover, Dr. Anka 4, on his 93rd birthday in Los Angeles on Friday. Now, he posted 2 pictures of himself in a tuxedo and 4 in a long-sleeved glittering dress, and said the 2 of them were as excited as eloping teenagers. 4, who's 63, has been employed at Buzz Aldrin Ventures as an executive vice president since 2019. She graduated from the University of Pittsburgh with a PhD in chemical engineering in 1996. Aldrin thanked everyone for their best wishes on his birthday and wedding and added, quote, "It means a lot to us and I hope to continue serving a greater cause for many more revolutions around the sun." Wow, a truly amazing story to start off with, and we hope and wish them all of the best in their futures. That's it for the news at 6 o'clock. We'll take another look at headlines at 7. Right now, here's a reflection on the world of sports, and I can't wait to see the smile on Graham's face.
You're lucky I'm still carrying Friday's smile. This has nothing to do with the weekend. It was a tough one for some and glorious for others. Derby weekend for sure, and Arsenal, they've got the bragging rights. They restored their 5-point lead at the top of the Premier League table with a superb performance. Eddie and Ketia scoring twice as they were able to ultimately come out 3-2 winners over their old foes, Manchester United, in one of probably the most physical derbies you're going to see, and included a 90th minute winner just to give us the spoils. It looked as though it would end with the honours evenly shared after United. They withstood a late siege, but Nketiah tapped in from close range with absolute ease to send the home fans into rapture. Before that, Erling Haaland, he netted a 4th Premier League hat-trick as Man City beat Wolves 3-0. Then previously on Saturday, Liverpool and Chelsea, they played out to a rather dull goalless draw. Then bringing it back home, they continue and they seem to be unmatched in their championship charge. Mamelodi Sundowns have set a new record for the most number of consecutive wins in the Premiership, now racking up a 12th straight triumph on Saturday night. That's when they edged past old foes Kaizer Chiefs 1-0. Neil Mayamos having the season of his life, scored in the first half as Downs eclipsed the previous PSL era of 11 wins set by their 2006-07 team under the guidance of the PSL legend Gordon Eggerson. Then Orlando Pirates, they secured back-to-back league wins for the first time this season after they thumped Stellenbosch 4-1. And SuperSport United, they kept their unbeaten record at home intact following their 1-0 draw up against Richards Bay. Then on to tennis, a few more shocks in the Australian Open. Top seed Iga Swiatek is out of the year's first Grand Slam after losing to Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina, and that was in the 4th round. So the 22nd seed powered to a 6-4, 6-4 win. Less than half an hour later, Coco Gauff lost 7-5, 6-3 to Yelena Ostapenko. Then 3rd seed Jessica Pegula, the highest-ranked player left in the women's draw, came through 7-5, 6-2 against Czech Barbara Krejcikova. Then on the men's side of the draw, 3rd seed Stefanos Tsitsipas avoided a similar fate, claiming a thrilling 6-4, 6-4, 3-6, 4-6 and 6-3 win over Italian Yannick Sinner to keep his dreams of a maiden Grand Slam title alive. Then on to netball. It's all kicked off a busy year for the Proteas. Started intensely this weekend, and the Proteas overcame a charging England in the dying minutes of their game to salvage a 46-all draw on day 2 of the Quad Series, playing out at Cape Town International Convention Centre. So the tone was set from the first quarter when only 1 goal separated the 2 teams. Then in the dying moments of the 4th quarter, Carla Pretorius proved just how prodigious she can be and won a vital interception, which Potgieter then converted to register the first draw of the tournament. Next up, South Africa will face Australia tomorrow. So get down and support if you can, but we'll touch on those headlines again in about an hour or so. And yes, delve a little deeper into what is going on in the Premier League throughout the morning. So keep that conversation going. But right now, let's see what the weather has in store.
Thank you, Graham. And let's start off with some news. 7 people in the Kakamas in the Northern Cape have died due to heat stroke in the past few weeks. Another is recovering in the Kakamas hospital. The Northern Cape Department of Health has confirmed that 5 people passed away and another is in the Kakamas hospital. In the last few weeks, the Kakamas area experienced temperatures in the 40s. Kakamas and surrounding areas in the Northern Cape will be exempted from rolling blackouts due to water shedding. Kai Garib Municipality's Benny Kordum said, and I quote, "We have received approval from Eskom to supply a plan as to how we will handle our own load shedding." Meanwhile, the SA Weather Services has said extreme high fire danger conditions are expected over the Kai Garib Municipality and northern parts of the Northern Cape, as well as the Kagisano Molopo Municipality of Northwest. A heat wave is also expected over Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal until tomorrow. We now head on over to those beautiful sunrise views that you share each and every morning. So first up, we have Ntokozo Theo Makatini, who showcased this stunning bright blue and cloudy sky all the way from Johannesburg. Michelle Raubenheimer shared this view from her home in Elsie's River, and you can see catching a glimpse of the sun in between the homes. Fatah Khan shared this stunning orange-lit sky. This one's lighting up the dock in Richards Bay. And finally, William Jumaat shared this very spectacular view of the sun rising above the ocean in Virginia Beach. What a view. Well, if you have a sunrise view that you'd love to share with us, our number is 063-408-8863. Let's get into today's temperatures. Polokwane, your low is 15, your high is 30. If you're in Mbombela, 16 is your low, 29 your high. Pretoria, 17, 32. Johannesburg, 15, 31. Sunny in Mahikeng, 19.33. Klerksdorp, 18.34. If you're in Kimberley, 19 is your low, 34 your high. Bloemfontein, 14.32. Richards Bay, 23 with a high of 35. Pietermaritzburg, 19.35. Durban, 23 with a high of 31. Mthatha, 20 is your low, 31 your high. East London, 24, reaching a high of 30. Thunder showers for Cradock, 19 with a high of 34. Gqeberha, 21 with a high of 29. George, 18.28. Cape Town, 16.25. Worcester, 14.35. Sutherland, 10 with a high of 31. And sunny conditions in Uppington, a low of 22 and a high of 38 degrees Celsius. Well, that's your weather for now. I'll have another update shortly after 7.
Okay. We're actually having the discussion right now that's going on social media.
Really, we are, yeah.
What would you do if you randomly just bumped into a tiger on your morning stroll? Like you're walking around and then, boom, tiger. Because tigers, as you were saying now, are territorial animals. They're not afraid to be on the attack,
I've seen visuals of like a tiger attacking a helicopter that was coming in too close. Like they're not scared.
You kind of go, wait, tiger, shh, shh, tiger, wait.
Lure it away.
Shh. I've got something for you, kitty.
I wonder if you're the guy without the dairy snack.
And then you offer the tiger some breakfast. You're like, okay,
let's have my friend and his dairy snack, tiger.
Let's be friends. How much would you like, Mr. Tiger? More? Okay.
Leave the tub.
More? Okay.
Leave the tub for him. We'd love to hear from you. What would you do if you ran into a tiger? 063-408-8863. Keep it PC. We'd love to hear from you this morning.
And now you're sitting with the tiger. And then you're like, okay, must I feed you? More?
One for me.
So good, Mr. Tiger.
All yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on S3. Happy Monday to you, and thanks for joining us as we delve right into the news headlines of the day. Now, of course, it only gives us a morsel of the full story, and that's why we want to break things down and give you the chance to also weigh in on the discussion. So please send us all of your opinions on the number 063-408-8863. And this morning, we're joined by media practitioner Nash Mercado as we discuss some of the biggest headlines on the front pages of newspapers across Mzansi. And we'd love to hear from you. But great to see you, brother. First time this year, eh?
Yeah. First time.
Absolutely. I hope you had a great holiday and you're feeling ready to take on this year.
I'm feeling ready. Are you feeling ready?
Absolutely. Let's get into it because there are some people in South Africa who are ready to take on their futures, as it were, given the fact that matric results, of course, they came out very recently, and Education Minister Angie Motshekga revealed that the official pass rate of 80.1% in 2002 is an increase, thankfully so, from 76.4% in 2021. Now, the overall pass rate, as you can tell, increased by almost 4%, and the number of bachelor's passes increased by 8.9%, and the number of diploma passes also improved, which is a very, very good result indeed overall for the country. We like where that is going. The trend is good. What do you make of these results when you see them, and what should we take from it?
Well, congratulations to the matriculants and the teachers who have had to work under very difficult conditions over the last few years. First with the pandemic, and then now with the energy crisis. The matric pass rate is usually used to measure the effectiveness of the policies by the Department of Basic Education.
Yes.
If you look at the pass rates from 1995, they denote something that looks like a sawtooth graph that has got these peaks, but something happens every time there is a peak. It's usually followed by a decline for about 5 or so years, right? There are many factors why this could be the case, really, but I would imagine that probably content is one amongst them. And it would be interesting for statisticians out there to do a calculation of the correlation between the pass rate and also the dropout rate. What is the correlation coefficient between these two? The DA has said that, these pass rates are not exactly accurate because they don't consider the dropout rate.
Right.
So if there's a positive correlation between these two variables, then yes, indeed, when the dropout rate goes up and the pass rate goes up as well, they need to be re-examined. But if there's a negative correlation, that would be the more ideal scenario that would want, where the dropout rate goes down and the pass rate goes up. So yeah, there is a lot to unpack there. 340,000 learners who were grade 10 did not end up sitting for their matric exams. That's something there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the hope would be that that correlation that you're talking about indicates that despite the dropout rate, we are seeing still a more effective implementation of policies that's leading to these good results. Because ultimately, that's the hope for the country, right?
Yeah.
But we are dealing with the scourge of unemployment that is still troublesome, to say the least, where despite the number of bachelor's qualifications and matric exemptions, that there's still a youth group population, quite a large number of them, who are still unemployed, despite the fact that they've acquired a matric certificate, the lack of skills, the lack of opportunities to get into institutions, the high costs thereof. So how do we go about then, firstly, I mean, do we even have a root understanding or a grip on the root causes of that disparity?
Yeah, well, there are many factors that contribute to the high unemployment rate, stagnant economic growth that is insufficient to job creation. For example, in 2009, as a knock-on effect of the global financial crisis of 2007 and 2008, South Africa lost about 1 million jobs. That's a lot.
That's devastating.
Yeah, and you have about 51% of the youth who are unemployed who do not have a matric qualification. 31% do have a matric qualification. who also have other tertiary qualifications, and the remainder are people who, amongst the youth, who cannot work because of several other factors, such as disability. So, yeah, it is a host of factors that contribute to this high unemployment figure. There is also something interesting that was brought about by the late British educationalist Sir Ken Robinson, who suggested that there is a global process of academic inflation that is going on. Years ago, when there are jobs that you could get from just having a matric qualification. Right. Now you need a diploma.
As a bare minimum.
As a bare minimum, those where you needed a diploma, you need a degree, where you need a degree, a master's degree, a PhD, and so on and so forth. So there's that process that a lot of people don't talk about, but is happening the world over. So this being underskilled does preclude the youth from gaining access to the job market. The quality of the qualification does determine whether or not somebody ends up getting employed.
Yeah, very, very interesting take there. Thank you very much for that insight. We look forward to continuing that conversation with you. Of course, we'd like to hear from you as well. 063-408-8863. We'll be catching up once again with Nash very shortly about some of the headlines, including, oh my goodness, Eskom, the CEO. What's going on?
That's the usual.
Well, before we start chewing on the real gristle of life, we've got something that'll hopefully energize you to go out there and change your world. We've got one of the best treats to keep in the freezer this summer, bar none. Our fruits of the forest, frozen berry bites. They need just a few wholesome ingredients and take only a few minutes to make, and we're going to prove that right now. This is your good morning into a great morning treat. I absolutely love that, and we're using seasonal berries, which is on point.
Fresh berries, so you can obviously play around with your strawberries, your blueberries. We're going for raspberries and some blackberries, and then we're going to simply mix our fruits of the forest, about a cup into here with a little bit of honey.
Yummy, I absolutely love it. I love the fruits of the forest. I love the fact that obviously the flavor profile is win, and we love that. But Clover Fruits of the Forest Dairy Snack has real fruit in it already, which we love even more. And it's got the most incredible flavor profile. Added to that, a source of 7 vitamins. So we get the full spectrum here. Try Fruits of the Forest with a cereal for those busy mornings when you've got no time at all. It's a plug and play breakfast, really. And it turns those good mornings into great mornings. And if you want to turn a great morning into an awesome morning, you can turn your dairy snack into something like this. And this is obviously our flavor profile that we enjoy. The berries obviously being in season, you want to capitalize on that. But you can, as I said, really push the boat out. Try whatever fruits you enjoy and love. And then we're going to bolster it up with a little bit of granola just to give it a bit more crunch, a bit more oomph.
So I've got our mixture ready. I didn't add all the honey. Obviously, go with your own preference. If you know the kids love it a bit sweeter, go for that extra bit of honey. But I just thought, the fruits of the forest, the natural sweetness from the fruit, we are going to be getting ample sweetness with this recipe.
Sugar involved, yeah.
So it's great to start with the granola at the base. And we are using like little cupcake holders, but you can really go around maybe with foil. It will be easier to remove. Maybe you've got those silicone little cupcake holders, which can also be great.
Okay, that's a great idea.
But this works really
because you really want to
too.
see them in their entirety like that. How beautiful do they look with a little kind of the ribboning around the edge with these cupcake holders. I love that.
And then you just very carefully, as I say that, make a little bit of a mess. Get them into your cupcake holders, and then this will go into your freezer.
Oh, and it looks absolutely beautiful. And this time of the year, these berries are shining.
Oh, make this the night before. I know you can have this for breakfast, but it's so hot during the week, during the day. So this is also a great little snack.
Have ice blocks inside your cooler bag. I'm going to go give one of these guys
give it a try.
a little taste because it looks too beautiful.
Give me your honest opinion.
Oh, wow. I love the textural element there. So I think this will be quite a lot to take in without that. And a little bit of backbone, a bit of crunch, but the pop of those berries, absolutely beautiful. You can tell these berries are in season right now. Wow. Absolutely delicious.
And then you just finish
light.
With a little, the whole idea for it is to be a nice, light, refreshing snack. There we go.
It is beautiful.
Well, if you want to get your hands on this delicious recipe, we have it available for you. It's on our website, expressoshow.com.
Very nice. So your hands are going to get cold.
Fruits of the forest from Clover just added real cereal crunch. A symphony of fruit, oats, seeds, and granola crunch. Fruits of the forest. Real fruit, real cereal, real taste.
Made with love by Clover. Oh, you can make my day.
I am such a champ right now. Such a champ right now.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show on this Monday morning. Thanks once again for joining us at the start of a brand new week. We're back again with media practitioner Nash Mercado to catch up on some of the biggest headlines all around the country. And of course, we would love to hear from you as well. Give us a voice note. Send it to 063-403-8863. Picking up on a story that, of course, we're all too familiar with, load shedding. And some of the latest news regarding load shedding are that 10 million chickens have been taken out of production in the last 6 weeks. This due to load shedding, and abattoirs simply don't have enough time to process the number of chickens that they normally do. This is quite a crisis that I wasn't expecting to see making headlines or being kind of part of the conversation of the day. But can you give us a bit more context into this, Nash?
So what is happening is that because of load shedding, abattoirs cannot process meat, they cannot slaughter chickens at the same level of efficiency that they used to be able to do so. You know, they work 24 hours. So when there was the stage 6 load shedding, they were losing about 6 hours of work a day. So now what happens is that the spaces where farmers grow the chickens, they are not free to bring in new chicks because they cannot pass on these chickens fast enough to, you know, to the abattoirs for them to process them. So now they have had to cull 10 million chicks, and this is concerning because, you know, chicken is affordable in South Africa. It's a food source for many.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
So this is likely going to be a problem.
And so with that, one of the emerging stories is that a poultry farmer in the northwest is wanting to sue Eskom for some 1.5 million rand, this due to an estimated 40 to 50,000 of his flock then dying as a result of this. So what do you make of this? I mean, can Eskom be expecting more lawsuits? Can we sue Eskom?
Well, I kind of do empathize with this farmer, being somebody who farms myself more crops than poultry or animal husbandry. Your chickens have survived all the vulnerabilities that poultry is exposed to. Newcastle virus, all the variations of bird flu, and then load shedding happens. You know, it's just something that is very concerning. He is probably not the only one. There are probably several farmers who have also incurred losses because of load shedding. But about suing Eskom, there are legal provisions for suing Eskom, but probably Eskom could expect more of these from corporations rather than individuals.
Right.
Because of the legal costs associated with having to sue such a huge organization. You know? So I think the stage 6 question here would be whether or not it is worth it in the end, because the legal costs could be more than the money that you're finally entitled to via claim.
Yeah, but then one wonders what this might look like if this turned into a class action instead of just an individual corporation pushing for that kind of legal remedy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in other news, though, New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern last week said that she would be standing aside for a new leader within weeks, saying that she doesn't believe that she has the energy to seek re-election in October when the polls do come out. Now, Ardern has been generally praised as a symbol of empathetic leadership that listens to the people, and especially after her swift and heartfelt response in 2019's Christchurch massacre. So, given the fact that, she, I think in a very big way, holds quite a significant position in the hearts of New Zealanders. What do you think of this move? I mean, what do people even make of it?
Well, how she handled the Christchurch massacre will probably be the hallmark of her leadership. She handled that quite well. I know why people would want her to stay.
Yes.
Or as we do of all great leaders, we don't want them to leave office. But she said something in a resignation speech that she no longer has the energy to carry out her duties as head of government. Barack Obama said something similar that resonates with what she said when he was reaching the end of his second term. He said that he was looking forward to spending more time with family, not having such a huge security detail, but most importantly, resting. Because when you are doing the job well, it is exhausting and it ages you much quicker. The baton of leadership has to be passed from one person to the other. Leaders, I think, should leave when they're still wanted. Otherwise, you risk eroding your legacy.
Absolutely. So, wow, a case of honest leadership that we're experiencing. Hopefully that might be a bit of a beacon, a guiding beacon for some leaders out there in the world. Nash, always a pleasure to see you, my brother. Good luck for the year ahead. Looking forward to interacting with you a lot more as well.
Thank you.
And we'd love to hear from you as well on some of these news headlines we've discussed and those that you might find to be of interest on this Monday morning. Give us a voice note. Send it to 063-408-8863 as we ease ourselves into this Monday morning.
And we need all the help we can get. Thank you, Kat. And since it is Monday morning, our favorite time to get the body moving ahead of the busy week, yoga instructor Storm Joy Cookson is here to show us how it is done. Storm, it's great to have you here. A little bit of yoga just to set the right mind, set the tone for our mind. For you, yoga, is there something you always say to yourself just to really get into the zone?
Thank you, Zoe, for the warm welcome. I'm honored and so excited to be here with you and to share this beautiful practice with you this morning. So you asked if there's anything specific that I wake up with in the morning. I actually happen to bring some of my affirmations from my bedroom, right?
Okay.
I believe that we all deserve a grand rising in the morning, right?
Waking
up, remembering who you are, and just setting a tone for a really beautiful morning. So the first one that I want to share is be here now, right? There's nothing to do right now, nowhere to be, just here. Africa.
Oh, fantastic.
And, yeah.
I love what we are seeing. I'm so worthy as well as just try. And I think for those who haven't done yoga before, maybe this is the perfect way for you to just try, do what you can. So let's get into our morning yoga routine.
All right, Zoe. So to start off, I'm going to share with you one of my favorite yoga poses, right? Okay, so we're going to open up our palms, relax the center of your palms, and I hope all the aunties are joining in as well. All right, relax your left shoulder and relax your right shoulder. So one of my favorite yoga poses, Zoe, we're going to lift the corners of our mouth.
Okay.
Yes, and automatically you're smiling, and that's how we wake up in the morning, South Africa.
I love that. Lift the corners of your mouth.
Awesome. And I would like to invite you to just sit in gratitude for the gift of a new day, the gift of your breath and your body. So we're starting to shift our attention to each breath entering your heart space, each breath entering your belly. And you want to sigh your breath out. Try to listen to your breath. Beautiful. Inhale to the bottom of your belly and release. Let's do one more lion's breath. Feel your belly expand. Sigh it all out. Beautiful. So the breath is one way that we make space first thing in the morning for, something new, something fresh. Our breath and our emotions have a very intimate relationship, right? So when we are feeling a bit stressed or overwhelmed, how do you breathe?
You tend to be a little bit short. I don't know. If some people a bit more choppy with your breathing.
Exactly.
You don't take deep enough breaths.
Exactly. And when you are relaxed, you aren't like, I'm so relaxed, right? It's the complete opposite. You're like, So our breath can often be a direct indicator of how we are feeling. And when we wake up in the morning, right, our nervous systems are so relaxed, so it's an opportunity for us to work with it and create a little magic. So we're going to pretend that we just woke up. Are you keen to hop onto your back with me?
Okay, I'll hop onto the back.
Awesome. Alrighty, so we just woke up. We're going to wake up by greeting your body. Spread your fingers, spread your toes, reach your hands up and overhead. Take a loving breath into your body and release. Now we're bringing your knees in towards your chest. I think this is a great way to just say hello, give yourself a hug.
Oopsie. That's something that will happen. That happens. It's okay.
There's a storm coming, guys.
It's all in the name. Don't worry, we will fix that and sort that out. Oh. So you'll give it a good stretch and really just also focus on your breathing first thing in the morning. We got a rude awakening right now. But Storm's not going anywhere, and I'm always looking forward to the perfect way to cool down after a workout. So we actually have our refreshing fresh pack recipe that will absolutely satisfy the whole family. That is coming up for you after the break. But Storm, if I may pour you a glass just to refresh after or to basically pre-hydrate us for the rest of our morning as we get into some more yoga.
Thank you, Zoe.
Go. Fantastic. And of course, we're going to be making a delicious recipe for you using our fresh pack rooibos tea, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Cheers.
Cheers.
Enjoy delicious homemade iced tea this summer. Simply add fresh lime, berries, and honey to ice-cold fresh pack rooibos tea.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're back again with media practitioner Nash Mercado as we discuss some of the biggest headlines on our front pages of newspapers across Mzansi. And of course, we would also love to hear from you. 063-408-8863. Give us your opinion on some of these headlines that we're discussing, and indeed those that you might find to be interesting this morning. Another story that we wanted to touch on very quickly is that in Peru, in the capital of Lima, it turned very, very violent as demonstrators demanded their president, Dina Boluarte, leave office. And around 3,500 people attended the march, and at least 13 civilians and 4 police officers were injured in the uprising. And these protests have indeed highlighted a deep division between the country's urban elite, and largely concentrated in the capital of Lima, and the mostly indigenous people in the south. Do we know, Nash, where these divisions stem from?
Yes, it is known where these divisions stem from. There is a history of poverty and inequality in Peru that has caused a divide between the wealthy elite and the indigenous Peruvians. And currently, what is happening is that the indigenous Peruvians usually prefer a charismatic leader, populist leader, who promises reforms and rewriting the wrongs that led to marginalization in the past, and also instituted these divisions that you're talking about. So this is what is happening in the country, that the former president, the new president, she is Peru's first female president. So there is something to celebrate, but what we're seeing on the streets right now does not show that people are really happy with that fact that she's the first female president. Pedro Castillo, he was impeached by Congress after trying to dissolve Congress. A lot of people are arguing, of course, that Congress had become increasingly aggressive towards him, but he made a political blunder by considering to dissolve Congress. So they're protesting not only the employment of Dina Boluarte, but they're also protesting the removal from power of somebody whom they had voted into power. So it's kind of a dual scenario here, where they're protesting the present president because they feel that she has betrayed the electorate. Apparently, she had said that she was not going to take office. She was the former president's running mate. So she had said that if he is to leave power, I'm not going to take office. But
so sort of a betrayal of the people's
sort of
confidence.
A betrayal of the people's confidence, they feel, yeah.
Wow, not a good position for Dina Boluarte to be in. And this, you know, it's being reported that this is some of the worst violence that's been seen in Peru in some 2 decades, where 55 people have been killed in the unrest since, as you said, the former president was then impeached. So as it stands, does it look like there is an end in sight in terms of all of this violence that we're seeing?
It's a very complex issue, because the current president is Peru's 6th president over a period of 5 years. And none of these presidents that have come over this period have been able to finish a term. Most of them, except one, I think, have been embroiled in political and corruption scandals. There have been some improvements over the years in terms of Peru's economy, and also there has been a reduction in armed insurgency. But when you look deeper, you find out that Peru, they are the 2nd largest producers of copper in the world, the largest being China. China is a superpower and therefore untouchable. Right? But what often happens with weaker states that possess mineral wealth is that they are always vulnerable to infiltration, outside infiltration, from people who might want to partake of that mineral wealth.
So you think that there might be other forces at work, at play here?
There might be other forces at play here. There's a book called Confessions of an Economic Hitman that details how these kinds of things go about. So there could be other forces at play, because it doesn't really make much sense what is going on. It's
Yeah.
just one thing after the other.
Yeah, I tell you what, as you
Presidents
mentioned,
coming in and going.
yeah, as you mentioned that the word Cambridge Analytica dropped into my mind, and you understand how certain political kind of phenomena can be applied, and strategies can be applied to swing things in an economy to operate in a particular way. It's very, very interesting there. I didn't consider that for a moment, but thank you very much. We appreciate your
An
insights,
absolute
Nash.
pleasure.
And of course, we would love to hear from you as well. Do hit us up on 0634088863. Let us know which headlines have piqued your interest on this Monday morning.
Oh, thank you, Kat. Well, you know what? We did a little bit of yoga and we sipped on some refreshing iced tea. And if you are looking for the freshest homemade iced tea just for about every occasion, then this pomegranate and crushed pineapple iced tea spritzer is the answer. Storm, earlier I gave you a little bit of a taster, so now I want to show you how we made our iced tea that we enjoyed after our very brief yoga session. So we're going to start off with some hot water on the stove. I've got our cranberry and pomegranate flavor, and I'm going to add about 3 tea bags to this because we want to make a nice big little batch of iced tea, and we're just going to leave that to seep. I'm going to add our cinnamon sticks as well as a little bit of honey, just to sweeten it up a little. There we go. And a bit of lemon rind. Now you can see you've got some pineapple in front of you. You can just cut a few pieces that we can add to our drink.
Alrighty.
Yes, you can just add some. And the nice thing is with our pineapple, if you've got any left over, you can simply crush it, pop it into the freezer, and you have got yourself some pineapple ice blocks. So
that's beautiful.
If you don't have a fresh pineapple on hand, you can also use some tinned pineapple. Simply pop it into an ice cube tray like this and pop it into the freezer. A great way to also save on any leftover veggies that you have, or fruit in this regard. There we go. Is iced tea something you get to enjoy often? Because I feel like it's something I always forget about, and then when I have it, I'm like, why don't I drink this more?
Yeah, it's so funny you asked. So we just on Wednesday, I had that moment, that iced tea moment, and I was like, my friend said, what can I get you to drink? And I was like, iced tea. And then I chose a peach iced tea.
Oh.
Yeah, iced tea is super refreshing.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is refreshing. And FreshPack gives customers the experience of homemade iced tea, making their favorite drink easily accessible all year round. And FreshPack encourages the viewers to spark up their creativity through replicating or, creating their own homemade iced tea recipes. And we want to hear about it. So once your tea has finished seeping, we want to put it in a container, allow it to cool. You can also pop it into the fridge to really cool it down completely. You've cut up our pineapple pieces very beautifully, and in front of you we've got 2 glasses, and we can simply now assemble our pomegranate and pineapple. So I'm going to hand you this this spoon, and we can just add some pomegranate. We've got frozen pineapple here, and of course if you freeze your berries beforehand, it will just allow your iced tea to stay cooler, but you can use it fresh too. And we'll simply top it off with our homemade FreshPack rooibos tea, and this is the cranberry and pomegranate flavor.
Are we adding in some fresh pineapple?
That's what we would have frozen, and now we've got that.
Oh, okay.
So let me top you up.
Thank you.
And there you go. Some
That's beautiful.
freshly
Let me get
made.
you a set as well.
You can have that one, and then I'll get one now, because I need to tell you about this. FreshPack gave you the chance to win 1,000 Rand cash by replying to the competition post on the Expresso social pages, telling us your ultimate must-try FreshPack iced tea recipe, and we are about to announce our lucky winner. Can I get a drum roll, please? Congratulations, Lebogang Jafta. Now, this is what Lebogang had to say. Boil water with 2 rooibos tea bags, a quarter peeled ginger, add honey and let it cool down. Once cooled, add crushed ice, blueberries, strawberries, slices of lemon and mint. Put that in the freezer for 5 minutes before drinking. #FreshPack. And we actually have Lebogang on the line right now. Good morning, Lebogang.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Very good. I love the recipe that you have suggested. So refreshing. And that is why you are our winner today. How does it feel?
Wow, it's so wonderful. I don't want to lie to you. Even today, I still feel so amazing, eh?
Oh, no, that is wonderful to hear. And, you know, we want to know from you because we are very intrigued on how you are planning on celebrating and spending that 1,000 Rand cash prize that you won with Freshpack. Lebogang, are you still there?
Yes, Courtney, but I can't hear you clearly.
Oh, sorry. I was just asking how you're planning on spending the money.
Oh, yes. What I'm going to do with the money, I'm unemployed, so I'm going to take that money and pay towards registration for my son, who is a second year in electrical engineering.
Oh, wow. Well, Lebogang, that's very sweet of you to, you know, put your son first in that regard. But we love you, and we are so grateful that you suggested that delicious recipe, and congratulations on winning that 1,000 Rand.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, guys.
Oh, amazing. Well, if you would love to be like Lebogang and stand a chance to win 1,000 Rand cash, simply reply to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook and Twitter pages and tell us your ultimate must-try Freshpack iced tea recipe. Don't forget to include that hashtag Freshpack, and the competition will close on Tuesday. That is tomorrow, the 24th of January. There are T's and C's that can be found on our website, expressoshow.com. Now that we have our tea made, don't go anywhere because Storm will be back in a little bit for part 2 of our yoga.
Okay.
Enjoy delicious homemade iced tea this summer. Simply add fresh lime, berries, and honey to ice-cold Freshpack rooibos tea.
Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Whoa, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Oh man, what a Monday. What a time to be alive.
Oh, you are in for a treat this morning. In fact, you are in for a treat this year. Why? Because we are giving you the chance to unlock your 100%. In fact, it is time to do it now. And we're going to help you be inspired with an amazing quote. And of course, this is brought to you by Clover Crush and ex-treasurer of Zimbabwe's movement for democratic change, Roy Bennett, who summed it up beautifully.
Absolutely. If you're seeking Monday motivation, here it is. He said, do not let the memories of your past limit the potential of your future. There are no limits to what you can achieve on your journey through life except in your mind. Believe in your infinite potential. Your only limitations are those you set upon yourself.
I love that. Even as I hear you say the words, I want to push back and say, no, but the fear, the doubt, the fear. Honestly, the only thing standing in your way is the perception, is the thought of what is standing in your way. Go and kick down that door. It's your chance.
Infinite potential lies within you. Now, of course, Crush is bringing you a new TV show on SABC2, hosted by the man himself, Ryle de Mornay, who will be going on a journey to help you unlock your 100%.
So what you got to do, keep an eye out on Crush's social media pages for all the information you need on how you can unlock your 100% with Crush and their brand new TV show that's coming soon. In fact, on the 1st of February, 7:30 on SABC2.
It's The Crush. Unlock your 100% TV show. Catch all the excitement as we unlock Crush fans' full potential to live their dreams. Watch the show on SABC2 starting on the 1st of February every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Plus, you stand a chance to win your share of thousands of prizes. Simply buy any Crush and follow the pack for entry details. Crush, 100% goodness.
Well, time's now 7 o'clock. Let's take a look at those national headlines. Starting with local news, Gauteng Premier Penyasa Lesufi says some 6,000 recruits will be trained by law enforcement agencies in an attempt to curb crime in the province. Lesufi spoke during an outreach program about electricity and security challenges in Soweto. He has committed himself to the fact that there will be police vehicles on patrol in every ward in Soweto for 24 hours a day. And stay with local news. Eskom's CEO, Andre de Ruyter, says the chance that Phase 8 load shedding will have to be applied is diminishing. He says it's expected to be reduced in the coming week as generation capacity is improving and sufficient diesel has been purchased. Meanwhile, Phase 2 load shedding was introduced at 5 this morning and will apply until 4 o'clock this afternoon. From 4, Phase 4 will be re-established until tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock. Phase 1 load shedding will be in place tomorrow until 4 in the afternoon, when Phase 3 load shedding will again apply. Moving to news abroad, New Zealand's incoming Prime Minister, Chris Hipkins, has vowed to protect his family from the apparent abuse that his predecessor, Jacinda Ardern, received while in office. Ms. Ardern announced that she was quitting as the country's leader on Thursday, citing burnout. Threats against her included a man claiming he had the right to shoot the Prime Minister for treason and treachery. Hipkins, who was speaking after MPs of his ruling Labour Party voted unanimously to endorse him, said, and I quote, "This behaviour does not represent who we are as a country," end of quote. On a visit to Senegal, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has spoken of how America and Africa are still impacted by the legacy of slavery. She was speaking on Gorée Island, which was the largest slave trading center on the African coast between the 15th and 19th centuries. She voiced, and I quote, "an overwhelming sense of sadness and pain thinking about those stolen from their families." Yellen said tremendous strides had been made in both Africa and the US, but people were still living with the brutal consequences of the transatlantic slave trade. Bringing it back home, the Little Karoo National Arts Festival, the KK&K, will be back in full force from the 1st to the 9th of April this year in Oudtshoorn. The festival program includes many of the old favorites and some new additions to the lineup. Tickets have gone on sale nationwide and online. It was held virtually for 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Last year, there was a limited festival, but now it's back as before. Crispin Son, chairperson of Kunste Onbeperk, said, and I quote, "This year we are closing off Oudtshoorn, Baron van Rede Street. We're having a street festival, a Puka Street party. We are running it over 9 days, which means we can cover both weekends." I'm so excited because this is the festival most people who've been here before always love. Now, a new addition to the program is a youth arts festival from the 1st to the 4th of April in collaboration with the Western Cape Department of Education and aimed at cultivating an interest in the arts amongst the high school learners. Well, that's where I leave your morning headlines for now. Let's get a 7A update on your sport.
Right, let's get the tough stuff out the way first. We start with football. Arsenal restored their 5-point lead at the top of the Premier League table with Eddie Nketiah scoring twice in a 3-2 defeat of Manchester United, including a 90th minute winner. In fact, that was the game. It was thrilling from start to finish. It looked as though it would end with honours even after United withstood a pretty late siege by Nketiah that he tapped in from close range to send home fans into absolute rapture. Before that, Erling Haaland did it again. He netted a 4th Premier League hat-trick as Man City beat Wolves 3-0. Then on Saturday, Liverpool and Chelsea, they played out to a rather dull 0-0 draw. And staying with footballing news but bringing it back home, Mamelodi Sundowns have set a new record for the most number of consecutive wins in the Premiership, now racking up a 12th straight triumph on Saturday night as they edged out old foes Kaizer Chiefs 1-0. Man of the moment, Neo Mayema, scoring in the first half as Downs eclipsed the previous PSL-era record of 11 set by their 2006-07 team under the guidance of PSL legend Gordon Egerson. In Orlando Pirates, they secured back-to-back league wins for the first time this season. In fact, after they thumped Stellenbosch 4-1, and SuperSport United, they kept their unbeaten record at home intact following their 1-1 draw against Richards Bay. Then on to tennis, a few more shocks from the year's first Grand Slam. Top seed Iga Swiatek, she is out of the Australian Open after losing to Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina in the 4th round. So the 22nd seed powered to a 6-4, 6-4 win. Less than half an hour later, Coco Gauff was also bundled out. She lost 7-5, 6-3 to Yelena Ostapenko. Then 3rd seed Jessica Pegula, the highest ranked player left in the women's draw. She came through 7-5, 6-2 against Czech Barbora Krejcikova. Then on the men's side of the draw, 3rd seed Stefanos Tsitsipas, he avoided a similar fate, claiming a thrilling 6-4, 6-4, 3-6, 4-6 and 6-3 win in a titanic battle against Italian Yannick Sinner to keep his dreams of a maiden Grand Slam title alive. Then finally, on the netballing front, the Proteas showed some heart. They overcame a charging England in the dying minutes of their game to salvage a 46-all draw on day 2 of the Quad Series, playing out at the Cape Town International Convention Centre. So the tone was set from the first quarter when only 1 goal separated the two teams. Then in the dying moments of that 4th quarter, Carla Pretorius does what she does, and she proved how prodigious she can be, winning a vital interception, which then Portgeta converted to register the first draw of the tournament. So next up is Australia for the South African ladies, and that's tomorrow. Well, that's where we leave our sport for now. We'll delve into a little bit of the SA20 in just a moment. But right now, let's see how the competition out on the roads is looking. So it's got the traffic.
Thank you, Graham. Let's start off with traffic in Newlands, Pretoria. There's been an accident on Garsfontein Road approaching the N1 on Pretoria East. The accident scene is still being cleared and is currently causing delays. Then in Johannesburg, Sandton, there's been an accident on the N1 northbound at the Buccleuch interchange. 2 lanes are closed and there's some slow-moving traffic this morning. Add some extra travel time to your journey. Well, that's your traffic for now. Let's take another look at your weather. And This morning, we bring you an interesting item of environmental news. The Department of Water and Sanitation says it's currently in the process of reinstating its integrated biological remedial program at the Hartbeespoort Dam in Northwest to combat water hyacinths plants. Now, some 45% of the dam is once again covered by this invasive plant species despite numerous interventions over the years. This occurs in less than 2 months due to intense rainfall since November last year. Meanwhile, 82 passengers and crew of a cruise barge were safely evacuated to shore in a mass rescue operation on the dam on Saturday afternoon. Arthur Crew, the NSRI Hartbeespoort Dam Station Commander, commended the captain and crew of the Alba of Harties Boat Company for their efforts to ensure the safety of their passengers. This after their cruise barge motor propellers became entangled in hyacinth and old discarded fishing nets. Well, for your 7 a.m. update, let's look at those sunrise views. Vincent Latuli shared this eerie image of the sun rising up from behind the homes in his neighborhood. And this is in KZN. Andrew Harris showcased the stunning view of the wispy clouds glowing in Belito. Caro shared this vacay view from Umhloti Beach. Look at that sky lighting up those palm trees. And finally, we have Vijay all the way out in Tongaat Beach, sharing this view of the sun, the sky looking like it's on fire. What a beautiful sunrise. If you have one that you'd love to share with us, please do so on 063 408 8863. Let's get into today's temperatures, starting off in Polokwane. Your low is 15, your high 30, Mbombela 16, 29. Pretoria 17, 32, Johannesburg sunny, 15 is your low, 31 your high. Mahikeng 19, 33, Klerksdorp 18, 34. If you're in Kimberley, 19 is your low, 34 your high. Bloemfontein 14 with a high of 32. Richards Bay 23 reaching a high of 35. Sunny conditions in Pietermaritzburg, 19 is your low, 35 your high. If you're in Durban, 23 is your low, 31 your high. Mthatha 20 reaching a high of 31. East London 24 with a high of 30. Cradock 19, 34. Kabeja your low, 21 your high, 29 for today. George 18, 28. Cape Town 16, 25. Worcester 14 reaching a high of 35. Sutherland 10, 31. And Uppington, your low is 22, your high 38 degrees Celsius. Well, that's your weather for now. We'll have a final update shortly after 8.
Thank you very much for sticking around to your Feel Good Breakfast show on this Monday morning. Some exciting news. I'm so happy to welcome our two guests next to me, because we all know as South Africans, we love a good vocal ensemble. If you think of the likes of Ladysmith, Black Mambas, or the Soil that create those soul-stirring harmonies. Well, there is another outfit in town called Mzansi Tenors, introduced to the local music scene by R&B's Talent Unlocked program during the COVID pandemic. Now, the super talented singers will be putting on their first solo production at the Theatre on the Bay from the 25th to the 28th of January. Take a look at some of their work. Oh, absolutely beautiful sounds. And we have Sipho Fubesi from the group, joined by Carolyn Waterhouse from R&B, joining us to talk about the beautiful success of this group and what it's been like on the journey so far. So firstly, a very good morning to both of you, and thanks so much for joining us so early in the morning. Sipho, looking at that video and those scenes, does it take you back to that time on that stage? Because that is a very special stage, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's incredible platform, and we are so grateful to R&B for giving us that opportunity. I mean, it was a dream come through for the boys and for me as well.
Absolutely. So how did the journey start with Mzansi Tenors? Take me way back to the first days, the idea and the culmination thereof?
Yeah, you know, I'm a singing lecturer at the University of Cape Town. Ever since I joined the institution, I've been exposed to some incredible talent when it comes to opera, specifically to tenors. And then I came up with an idea of forming a group. Mainly the idea was to create work for, for the singers. I mean, as you know, we are really struggling in the country, and ever since COVID-19 invaded our lives, so things started to be worse for artists. I reached out. In fact, I formed the group in 2021 in November, when the COVID restrictions were starting to ease. And then after I formed the group, I remember I recorded a short clip, and then I reached out to a dear friend of mine, Maestro Richard Koch, who is incredible as well, in terms of creating work for artists in the country. So I said to him, I have this group, please help me to find work for them.
Wow.
And then he introduced us to R&B, so that's the journey.
My goodness, what a beautiful story. And of course, I've had the privilege of being on that stage and performing in front of that incredible crowd.
I saw it. It was amazing.
Thank you very much. Caroline, when you look at this story and the fact that we as South Africans, as I said earlier on, we love a great ensemble. There's something about it, I think, that represents to us a unity of what we could be when we work together. Why do you think that music like this moves an audience to such emotions?
Well, firstly, Richard, just to mention, take on where Sipho left off, Richard's been involved with Starlight Classics for 25 years.
Yeah.
And the guys had literally 3 months to ready themselves up to go onto the stage at Vergelegen in March. And I might mention that you're on in March in the next Starlight Classics.
I am very excited for it.
In a certain capacity, which people just have to wait to hear about.
Indeed.
I think music moves people emotionally for many reasons. As I say, it's an international language. I think the only 2 real international languages that don't need translation probably are maths and music. And the other great thing is, we're very pro-sport as we are in a country, but the good thing about music is no one goes home having lost. And I think one of the things in this particular program is the tenors have worked very hard, as has Sipho as their leader, to make sure that there's something for everyone.
Absolutely.
So music, it touches people emotionally because it reminds you of where you heard it. There's always a legacy memory in your head connected to the music.
Yeah, and
so each person goes on their own journey as it plays.
And very often it says those things that are unsaid in your heart and in your mind.
Absolutely.
I quickly have to touch on the 25th until the 28th of January at Theatre on the Bay, a beautiful, prestigious venue that's hosted some stellar productions. What can crowds expect that are going to be filling up those seats?
The program is starting from our signature piece, Kakambanyana Wam, the one you just heard now. And it's a piece actually that R&B commissioned Raf to write the music for the group. It talks about a typical young boy from the humble beginnings and who decides to go to the big city to seek for better life for his family, his parents. So it's a piece that is relevant to the group. It talks about our journey. It talks to us as well. So we were really grateful to R&B for organizing that project for us. And then we have Impossible Dream, the famous piece. We'll be dedicating that to the late icon, Nelson Mandela. And there will be pieces like Brindis, Libya, Mo and the famous Nessun Dorma, None Shall Sleep.
Goodness.
I mean, people have to go and hear those tenors when they sing that piece. I mean, they make it sound so easy. I mean, I'm a tenor, obviously I'm experienced than them, but they make it sound so easy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's incredible to listen to them when they sing it.
Yeah, certainly.
And we're expecting, actually, we're saying this with Caroline, we're expecting a diverse audience there. I know it will be in Camps Bay, but people should, yeah.
Stage group is very diverse.
Yeah.
We certainly are hoping that you'll be coming out in your numbers to support the Mzansi Tenors. Catch them at Theatre on the Bay between the 25th and the 28th of January. Details are there on your screens. You want to make sure that you'll be there. Perhaps you'll be able to hear that rendition of Nessun Dorma that Sipho was talking about and hear him singing. I won't go on any further. I'll leave it there.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beauties. I'm going to say it. I'm going to proclaim it. You do not want to move a muscle. The Mzansi Tenors have given us a sound check that was probably better than most performances we've heard in our lifetime. Stick around.
Absolutely.
Right now, though, let's delve into a little bit of sport. We've been treated to a spectacular tournament on local shores. The SA20 has now reached the halfway stage already, believe it or not, with the tournament now set to take a little bit of a break from tomorrow as the Proteas obviously gear up to face off against England.
Absolutely. Now, of course, the Pretoria Capitals have been setting the pace under the leadership of Wayne Parnell, with the likes of my Cape Town, of course, and Sunrisers Eastern Cape closely challenging as well. Every game has actually been hanging on a nice edge. You could never really tell, isn't it?
And that's what we love about T20 cricket. And with us to chat about this tournament is Good Hope FM sports anchor and our good friend, Lorenzo Dariz.
Good to see you, sir. Good to see you.
He had a disclaimer saying, we are not talking about football, or he's not coming in. So that's the
full-on disclaimer is running at the moment. Is it running?
We'll certainly spare you. But yeah, the Pretoria Capitals have come out literally firing on all cylinders. Top of the table right now, and crazy game that's going on today. They've really delivered the goods, haven't they?
They have, but we must say, we first need to say thank you to Paul Royals. We all, we're in my Cape Town today.
They've done us a favour.
My Cape Town did the double on them, right? But then they came back, and then Paul, Pretoria came to Paul, and we thought, okay, they're going to sit back and they're going to just run over them. And then JP Duminier and his boys came, and they just, a superb performance on the
Not
day.
in Paul, my friends.
Yeah. It's at 41 degrees in the afternoon as well.
But it's been a crazy tournament. I must say that we're going to start seeing things now when the break is done, when the high-file teams start playing at home.
Yes.
And we start seeing the coastal teams go over there. So is there going to be a difference? Massive.
As strong as the Capitals have been with the ball in hand, I think it was Rulof was 6-4. What was it?
Army, the Orange Army with Sunrisers. It's a tournament best 6-20 or 4 overs. I don't think we've ever seen someone, but he's a journeyman. Rulof's a journeyman. He's been all over. He knows how to play on various wickets.
He's got the mental game.
Yeah, he's got the mental game all the way.
Absolutely beautiful. The My Cape Town, obviously, we are representing My Cape Town just for the next 5 minutes. We love the makeup of the team, especially when we look at that batting lineup. With the holes that we have seen in the Protea batting situation, whatever is going on there, this is why we've got this level of T20 tournament, is to provide a platform for batsmen to shine, and My Cape Town are shining.
No, they definitely are. It's a bit of a bittersweet moment for supporters out there. If you look at...
I mean, the excitement that these guys provide on the field and the numbers that they draw to the stadiums that create all of that gees will be enough to go, like, maybe we should give these guys a run in an odd little T20 matchup against a big side out there in the world. But, you were talking about the Highveld sides now getting their chance to play on home ground, and the coastal sides then visiting. JSK has been doing particularly well. Sunrisers, Eastern Cape, also just that niggly team that you think to yourself, wow, they don't, on paper, you're not really writing them up all that much, but then...
Yeah, but then it also gives you a clear indication of where we could be going with SA Cricket with Aiden Markram as captain, guys. Is he controlling a team quite well? Yes, he is. He's doing big ones over big teams, teams that should be knocking them out of the park. He's coming in and he's controlling his team. His fielding positioning is perfect. He knows when to put certain bowlers on. We've seen that now.
Cricket IQ.
There you go, that cricket IQ. Coming in with a nice 40, with the bat. He's leading with the bat, and that's the type of player we need in the team as a captain as well. So is this an indication of where we're going? Probably.
Yeah, a few highlights from their entertaining game over the weekend as well.
What's going on? It looks like you're adorning your body with a bit more...
No. So I did a little something this weekend.
What did you do?
I got myself...
Oh, my days!
There it is.
Wait.
Bro! You do, though, realize, though, as a sports anchor, you can't be biased, okay? So you're going to have to cover that tattoo literally every rugby box you walk into.
Every box that I'm going to... Well, I did it was, so the Cape of Good Hope, SPCA, approached me, and they've got something called Tats for Tails to help with their adoption awareness program. And they asked me to be part of it, and they were like, come in. Get a tattoo as an awareness for what's happening. And then I thought, you know what? My love for animals, my love for sports, could only be one that could connect the two, and it's the Springbok.
Oh, it's brilliant. Well done.
I was hoping for like a little bunny rabbit.
I don't know what I was expecting there, but a thought just came to my mind now. Would you consider a wager that if Arsenal were to win the league at the end of the season, you'd tattoo a cannon on your other shoulder?
No. Not at all. You are pushing it. You are pushing it.
Donate a lifetime's worth of food to the SPCA for you. In fact, I'll do that if he does that.
You tried something. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down.
Okay,
You're pushing it now.
I'm all right.
Where's the disclaimer, Graham?
But we didn't talk footy.
Oh, gents, you guys can talk sport all day, every day, but it's now time for us to get into round 2 of our yoga session with yoga instructor Storm Joy Cookson. Now, why is it such a great way for you to start your morning off with a bit of yoga?
Yeah, thank you for asking, Zoe. It's such a beautiful question. So, yoga derives from a Sanskrit word, yuj, which means yoke, or it represents unity or harmonizing the mind, body, and emotions, right? So, as we know, with load shedding, we're always worrying about what we need to cook before load shedding or next week's meeting. So, the mind is barely present. But this vessel, and you can just tap your shoulders, this vessel is always present, right?
Yes.
So, one way to bring that alignment inward is by getting into your body. And your body's always having a conversation with you, telling you what you need, where, like, oh, here's a little bit of goosebumps, here's a little bit of, sweats, whatever it is. So today we're going to do a grounding yoga flow. And if you're watching, please join us wherever you are. All right, so we're going to bring our big toes into touch. You just want to shift your weight forward and back, feeling the ground beneath your feet. And then your heart space, as we know the heart sits here. You want to lift it up to the sky slightly, relaxing your left shoulder and your right. Okay, so we're rooting down through both feet now, like a tree. And if your bum is sticking out, you just want to lift your navel up towards your nose, and you'll feel your lower back opening up. Beautiful. Okay, open up your palms. We're going to take a loving breath into the body, reaching our hands up and overhead. I'll come forward a bit. And as you breathe out, bring your hands to your heart, gently pressing away through your fingertips. Breathe into your belly. And as you exhale, back to mountain pose, hands alongside your hips. We are here. Okay. Inhale, reach your hands up and overhead. As you breathe out, bend into your knees, then fold forward, resting your belly against your thighs. Beautiful. Okay, lift up halfway as you inhale. So you're reaching your crown forward, gaze down. Okay, breathe in again. Plant your hands now. Step your right foot back and then your left to plank. Okay, but we want to activate the fingertips, so you're pressing away through your fingertips. Beautiful. Breathe in. Drop your knees and then drop your chest. And as you inhale, lift your heart space up towards the sky. Up dog. Okay, gaze at your left bum cheek and then your right. Okay, yours, not mine, eh? Okay, drop your knees, reach your hips back to child's pose. Okay, so you can enter child's pose. When you're reaching your hips back, you want to feel your lower back opening up. Relax into your shoulders. Take a loving breath in. And we're going to slowly come up to tabletop. Awesome. Okay, so now, Zoe, we're going to cross our legs. This is just a bit of fun, and we're going to drop back onto our hips. Awesome. Come to a comfortable seat. All right. Isn't it amazing how we can cultivate this warmth inside of us?
Yes, and it just, what a great way to feel fully present. Storm, this has been amazing. What a great way to kickstart the Monday morning. You are a yoga instructor. Where can people get in touch with you, join your classes?
Yeah.
Have you got any exciting projects on the way?
Oh, I have a couple. Thank you for asking, Zoe. So you can find me on Instagram at StormJoy, and I've got a business called Joy Ventures where I do monthly holistic walks. I offer trauma support, sacred circles for women. And yeah, I love adventures. I'm always creating something fun and exciting for people to join in on and connect with strangers. So, yeah.
Amazing. Well, Storm, it's been amazing having you here. And of course, I hope you enjoyed that alongside with us as we kickstarted the Monday off on the best possible note.
Namaste.
Sensodyne, repair, and protect with deep repair. The science is pretty amazing. It really goes deep and repairs tooth sensitivity. The science is there. It's going to improve their quality of life in a big way. This is the first thing I recommend.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, where you stand the chance to win and win big. We want you to play daily and win your share of, get this, 500 million in cash and rewards with Vodacom this summer. And they've got ingenious ways that you can use these resources. So how do you unlock your summer? This is how you get started. You first have to get free airtime when you purchase summer bundles on Vodapay. This is how it starts to unlock. When you purchase a summer bundle, you get free airtime back that is then saved in your summer wallet. You can then use this free airtime to purchase more bundles, even better deals on Vodapay that are just for you, built around your lifestyle. So you get 2 times the amount of free airtime back when you use Vodapay instead of USSD. Bear that in mind, 2 times as much. Now, accessing your summer wallet on Vodapay hasn't been easier. All you need to do is, first of all, download and then register on Vodapay. Then open your summer wallet in the Summer Mini app. Really easy to do. Once you've done that, tap on View Bundles. Then you tap on the Earn Credit tab and then simply select your summer bundle to earn free airtime credits, and the story goes on. Then you select a payment method and your purchase will now be completed. And to use your free airtime credit, then just simply tap on the Use Credit tab and then choose a bundle to spend your credit on. As easy as that. I love the fact that this has been built around your lifestyle, your ecosystem, so to speak. The rewards are amazing, but the fact that you get money back when you are spending on stuff that you would normally be spending on anyway is magic. So stand the chance of winning. Get this, a Superbalist voucher valued at 400 Rand. And to do that, simply reply to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook, Twitter, or our Instagram pages and tell us this: how will you be unlocking your summer with Vodapay? We've given you a few tips. Don't forget to include hashtag #UnlockYourSummer, and that competition closes midday this Wednesday, the 25th of January. But you can find all the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. Good luck.
Well, the moment we've all been waiting for on this Monday morning has finally arrived. A performance by the Mzansi Tenors, who join us ahead of their performance at Theatre on the Bay between the 25th and 28th of January. Get your tickets now, and they're about to give you a taste of what you can expect on that stage. And here they are performing Kakamba Nyana Wam.
Tula wemfana usukapele, tula wemfana usukapele. Indelendela yo ifuna bomeleleyo, kavalise ezandleni zakho. Yelele nyana wami ilizwe likulindile, yelele nyana wami ilizwe likuthongile. Ithemba nyana wami kubekuteka akani muhlalo toni ulumtulonye tulukunyathela wemfana usuqaphele tulukunyathela wemfana usuqaphele yelele mwa wena tu isizwe siyasincankabe usuze phatheka kuhle.
start off your Monday morning. I hope you feel inspired by that. Make sure that you see the Mzansi Tenors at the Theatre on the Bay from the 25th to the 28th of January. And we'll have more performances coming your way on your Feel Good Breakfast. So let's give them a round of applause. Come on! It's on training!
Mamasi, Mrs. I make the pots to be done. Famous for shisanyama and shisayo. One touch here, one touch there. Fast food and even faster payments. Everybody wins Mamasi. I mean, come on, man.
I am such a champ right now.
This summer, we are not just players. We are all champions. Unlock your profits with a quicker pause and qualify for a cash advance. Further together. Vodacom.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to Expresso, your feel-good breakfast show. We are going on a very exciting journey into the world of Forex trading in partnership with the right people. OctaFX, a reliable global Forex broker and trading platform that we're going to put to the test. So OctaFX, they've offered a high-end trading experience to more than 12 million accounts in 150 countries. They've got the track record. And we're going to connect with a very successful trader here in South Africa to find out how to save for retirement and why it is so important to invest.
This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3. Now, of course, it's well known that not everyone saves for retirement or a rainy day, or even those who do save, they don't put away nearly enough to last. And everyone needs to invest to create wealth, beat inflation, and to save for retirement and other financial goals too. And that's why this morning we're joined by Lesiba Mutupi, a successful Forex trader in South Africa. He's the founder of Forex Chasers, which focuses on providing education about the financial markets. My brother, good to have you, man. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well, man. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you because, you know, such times as these demand of us to have these kind of conversations where we can look at alternative ways of making money, building wealth, creating wealth, first of all, building it and keeping it, hopefully for generations to come. And you are well on your way to doing that. Let's talk about the importance of saving, especially when we're talking to young people out there who are looking at their futures. Why is it so important to invest and to save?
I love that question, and I believe that investing is an effective way of having your money work for you. Yeah. And on top of that, you can build a long-term wealth and as well be able to make passive income.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, you know, we're working in a world where side hustling. People have 2, 3 jobs sometimes. But do you think it's really possible to balance a full-time job as well as all these other methods of making an income, an additional income? Is it possible to actually have that work out, you know, not stress-free, because obviously making money in itself is stressful, but is it possible to find the balance?
Yeah, it is possible, because looking at it, all you need is to invest like at least an hour a day to be able to just learn that skill that you're willing to acquire. So like in investing, if you are able to invest like an hour a day, what you'll do is that you'll be able to make smart decisions in the long term run.
I mean, That sounds delightful. An hour a day? I could spend an hour a day dedicating to my side hustle. So talk to me about the different instruments or the different vehicles that are available, especially the ones that you are expert in, the ones that you use in investing and in creating that kind of wealth. How do you go about doing it?
Okay, at first there's a lot of instruments, but there's the popular ones. And the reason of them being popular is the fact that, like, you know, the average daily trading volume that's being traded, it's a lot of people trade those specific instruments.
When you say that you don't want Forex trading specifically?
No, I didn't yet dive into Forex, but what I mean is there's the ones that are the instruments is like stocks, you know, bonds, there's like metals, and as well Forex trading,
Yeah. Okay, so there's definitely a lot to dig your mind into and to try and figure out. But let's focus on Forex trading specifically. You are the founder of Forex Chasers, which sounds like it's an exciting business that you've been running for how long now?
It's like 4 years now.
For 4 years, successfully. So tell us a bit more about Forex trading, how you got into it and how it has worked out for you in that time.
Yeah, okay, so Forex trading, it's a global marketplace that allows, like, you know, one to actually trade currencies. So what you do is that you are able to spot which currency is going to gain strength over the next currency, and you are able to speculate and make profits doing that.
Yeah. How did you get started in it?
I just went on the internet and searched how to make money, and as soon as I got the answers, like the first questions, the first answer that came out was like, there was a lot of businesses, but the one that took my attention was Forex trading because of the way that, like, you know, charts you can learn fundamental analysis, and there's just a lot of things that took my attention from it.
What were some of the first things that you needed to learn and to understand about Forex trading in order to get into it?
I think the first things that I needed to learn was more on having a strong why into understanding what it is that I want to achieve.
Okay.
Because once you get that done, then you'd know that you're not in it to look for that quick buck or the quick money that you hoping that you'd be making. Because when I searched how to make money, I needed money at that time. But when I started learning about trading, I saw that it's not more about the money. It's like, you know, it gave me better mindset, trained me in the psychology to become a better trader. And if I understand my why, it'll motivate me to just jump over the challenges.
Let's talk about the fact that we have a multitude of Forex trading apps, and there are platforms that are advertised on social media. So I guess the first question that somebody might ask is, how do I know that the one that I'm looking at is one that is trustworthy?
Yeah, I think with that, you should focus a bit more on the value that is being shared compared to the lifestyle that is being sold. And as well, in looking for a broker, what you should do is that you should look for a reliable and transparent one in trading, because what it does is that it'll help you be able to trade securely. And one thing that I actually like about OctaFX is the fact that they are regulated in South Africa, and on top of that, their legal is on point. So that's one of the things that you should be looking at.
Absolutely. Well, of course, you can dream big and achieve bigger with OctaFX, a global broker that has provided online trading services worldwide since 2011. In fact, today, clients from over 150 countries have opened more than 12 million trading accounts with OctaFX. And you can invest too and download that OctaFX trading app to start investing today. The OctaFX app allows you to deposit funds, monitor trades, and manage your trading account in one place. And you can download the app very easily on the Google Play Store or as well as the Apple Store.
Well, it's time to spend time in the kitchen, and we're calling all sushi lovers. But have you ever heard of onigirazu? And I think I mispronounced that horribly, also known as a sushi sandwich. Gabby, you're laughing at me because I think I butchered that, but you know what? We are going to really tap into Veganuary, and this is what you get when you sandwich a sushi roll, and you also have basically they have a love child. So that is what we are making in the kitchen. It is really easy to make. It's naturally gluten-free and it's vegan. And Gabby is here to show us how it is made with our Be Well vegetable sushi sandwich. We should have just said that from the beginning. How did I mispronounce it?
I have no idea. I just enjoyed watching you try. I have no idea how to pronounce it. I was like, okay.
You know, every now and then these words surprise you, and you're like, whoa.
Oh, no, I know. But, you know, well done for trying. A for effort.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Well, we are focusing on a vegetable sushi sandwich. It's a bit of a tongue twister. And let's start off with, we're obviously going to be using some tofu.
Yes, we are doing tofu. And obviously, we are lightly frying it in our Be Well canola oil. And we are making a delicious dipping mayo with our Be Well mayo. That is actually one of my favorite mayos, by the way.
It's
also
thick
vegan
and
friendly.
creamy. It's
Yes.
egg-free, dairy-free, and a naturally gluten-free food, so it is vegan-friendly. So I'll start off by making our dipping sauce.
Yeah, please do.
I have got our Be Well mayo, and what is amazing, thick and creamy mayo and canola oil. The Be Well canola oil is locally sourced, naturally cholesterol-free. It is low in saturated fat, and it is perfect for all of your cooking needs. And it is deliciously rich with a subtle flavor. And this mayo is ideal for making sauces like I'm about to show you, as well as for using burgers, sandwiches, and even chocolate cakes.
Chocolate cake?
Yes. There we go.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do here. I am lightly seasoning, I'll say salt and peppering, that too, our flour. And then what I'm doing is I'm taking out tofu, because a lot of people, I think, get quite terrified by tofu.
The idea of tofu, especially if you've had tofu that wasn't seasoned properly.
Yeah, and also
could
just
be
not
a
cooked
bland
properly.
experience.
It's just stiff, you know, it's not great. So what I'm doing is I'm lightly dusting it in some flour. I'm then putting it into our plant-based milk of choice. Doesn't really matter what that is. And then I am lightly dipping it in some panko breadcrumbs.
And that will really give it that crispiness that we want.
Yes, absolutely.
Are you just doing one dip? We're not triple dipping?
No, not triple dipping, not overdoing it.
Not overdoing it.
And I've got a shallow frying pan here, which is for our, obviously, shallow fry. And in the meantime, we'll just clear that middle pan off before we cook everything else. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to put it on our slotted spoon, because this oil is now hot. I'm also just going to actually add a little bit more oil, just so we get the whole thing coated.
Okay, and you want that nice and hot because we want to have this as our end result, some crispy tofu.
Yes, absolutely. So while that is cooking nicely, we thankfully already have a piece that is done for us.
Okay. And we're going to use assembling. We're going to do the assembling. So we've got some rice paper that we've soaked. I feel like this is something you need to just use your fingers for.
I'm going to do this, and it's not going to break because we're friends today.
Yes.
It's going to break it.
It loves us.
Thank you.
There we go.
There we go.
So we're going to start off with some seaweed.
Yes, so we've got some nori sheets there, or seaweed as you said. Are we going to kind of put that down?
Can I put it there?
Yes, please.
In the middle.
There we go. Let's do it in the middle. Then, obviously, you can go wild here. You know, there's so many different options you can do. But today, obviously, we've got our rice paper. We are going to put some rice in it, some nice sticky white rice. Also, if you like trying to be a bit more conscious, you can do brown rice, you can do quinoa. We're just using nice white, fluffy white rice today. We're going to put that on there. Then we have got our tofu, which I'm going to put in over here.
So we've got our ready-made tofu.
Ready-made tofu. We've got some cabbage that we've used today, which I'm going to kind of put around here.
As well as some carrots. As well, and some fresh avo. And of course, I
and our
mix
beautiful mayo.
Our Be Well mayo with our sriracha sauce just to really get a nice... This is a dipping sauce. Should we add this to our mixture?
I mean, I'm never going to say no to more mayo. I mean, I think let's put a little bit in here, just for funsies. So I'm going to do it like that.
And then we've also got a little bit of teriyaki sauce.
A little bit of, love teriyaki sauce. I'm going to do a bit of a drizzle there. Thank you.
And then we also want a little bit of that. Do we add another rice sheet? I mean, a seaweed sheet? No.
We can if you want to. I mean, if you want that kind of look and feel when you break it open, we can definitely actually add one just because we can. I'm just busy turning now our piece of tofu. So I just want to show you here what it's looking like so everyone can know that we actually did cook it really beautifully.
And this is how you gently then wrap it?
Yes. So our tofu's looking beautiful. I've just kind of flipped it over.
And then you pop this into the frying pan.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to lightly toss put some sesame seeds. We've got, well done, Zoe.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
We also have another one there if we completely mess this up.
No, we won't mess this up. Okay, well, while you pop that into the frying pan, I need to tell you at home, you can win big with Be Well. They are giving away 150,000 Rand. That's the grand prize. And you stand a chance to win your share of 50,000 Rand. Now, simply purchase your favorite Be Well product, take a photo of yourself and your Be Well product, and send that picture to any of the Be Well social media platforms or to their WhatsApp line. And this is a special number, so write it down at 060-582-3678. and you do that along with your name and contact number. Those T's and C's can be found on the Be Well website. And if you've missed any of the steps to what myself and Gabby have made, our vegetable sushi sandwich, it is available online on our website, expressoshow.com. So Gabby, we need to give that a very quick and light fry because the rice paper is quite thin.
This is nice and thin, and I've completely butchered it.
It's okay, we've got to finish one. Look at that, the magic of TV. There we go. So
and there we go. So you just want to lightly toast your seeds. That is it. Do
And
it
then
quick
you're done.
and then we finished.
Expressoshow.com.
Five finalists, each paired with a professional chef over 3 rounds of a grueling bake-off and the sweet taste of victory or salty tears of defeat. Who will be crowned Golden Baker Search winner and take home 50,000 Rand? Find out as they bake their way to that grand cash prize. January the 24th to the 26th. Catch every minute of this delicious drama in the Golden Baker Search with Golden Cloud and Beacon only on Expresso.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's a Monday morning, and as you can see, we're surrounded by musical masterminds all around me here. The Mzansi Tenors are here ahead of their show at Theatre on the Bay between the 25th of January and the 28th. Make sure you buy tickets to check out the show. But before they perform their beautiful music, gentlemen, please help me out with the link to the next segment. It's time for the 8 o'clock news.
Wow, that was really impressive. Yes, it is time for your 8 o'clock news. Let's start off with your national headlines. Animal rights organization 4 Paws says that there's no information available in South Africa on how many tigers and other exotic animals are owned privately. A tiger was euthanized last week after escaping from its enclosure in Walkerville, south of Johannesburg, after attacking a man, 2 dogs and a pig. 4 Paws says that it has been encouraging and engaging with the government to take action to address the ownership and trade of big cats in South Africa. Tigers, being non-South African, are regarded as an exotic animal for which one doesn't need a permit. And staying with our local news, Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi says some 6,000 recruits will be trained by law enforcement agencies in an effort to curb crime in the province. Lesufi spoke during an outreach program about electricity and security challenges in Soweto. He has committed himself to the fact that there will be police vehicles on patrol in every ward in Soweto for 24 hours a day. Now moving to news abroad, a US airstrike assisting government troops in Somalia has killed some 30 Islamist al-Shabaab militants. The strike was carried out some 260 kilometers northeast of the capital, Mogadishu. Over the past few days, the Somali army and al-Shabaab militants have had several skirmishes. Now, the US Africa Command said Friday's airstrike came as the army was being attacked by more than 100 militants. Al-Shabaab has been fighting Somalia's central government since 2006, aiming to impose an extremist Islamist regime. And New Zealand's incoming Prime Minister, Chris Hipkins, has vowed to protect his family from the abhorrent abuse that his predecessor, Jacinda Ardern, received while in office. Ms. Ardern announced that she was quitting as the country's leader on Thursday, citing burnout. Threats against her included a man claiming he had the right to, and I quote, shoot the Prime Minister, end of quote, for treason and treachery. Hipkins, who was speaking after MPs of his ruling Labour Party voted unanimously to endorse him, said, and I quote, "This behaviour does not represent who we are as a country." And Edwin Buzz Aldrin, the second person to ever set foot on the moon in 1969 after crewmate Neil Armstrong married his longtime love, Dr. Anke Four, on his 93rd birthday in Los Angeles on Friday. He posted a picture of the two of himself in a tuxedo and Four in a long-sleeved glittering dress and said the two of them were as excited as eloping teenagers. Four, 63, has been employed at Buzz Aldrin Ventures as an executive vice president since 2019. She graduated from the University of Pittsburgh with a PhD in chemical engineering in 1996. Aldrin thanked everyone for their best wishes on his birthday and wedding and added, I quote, "It means a lot to us and I hope to continue serving a greater cause for many more revolutions around the sun." Wow. There really is a very beautiful wedding, and it must have been out of this world. Well, that's where I leave your morning headlines. Let's take a final look at your sport.
Thank you so much. Zozo, let's start with footballing news. I'm sure Arsenal fans are feeling like they're on another planet right now as Arsenal restored their 5-point lead at the top of the Premier League table, with man of the moment Eddie Nketiah scoring twice in a 3-2 defeat of Manchester United, including a 90th minute winner that kind of typified the game. It was thrills from start to finish, and it looked as though it would end in honours being shared after United withstood a late siege, but Nketiah tapping in from close range, making it look effortless, in fact, to send the home fans into rapture. So before that, Erling Haaland, he's done it again. He's netted now a 4th Premier League hat-trick as Man City beat Wolves 3-0. And previously on Saturday, Liverpool and Chelsea played out to a dull, goalless draw as well. Not so much when we bring it back to home soil. They are on fire. Mamelodi Sundowns have now set a new record for the most number of consecutive wins in the Premiership, racking up an incredible 12th straight triumph on Saturday night. That's when they edged out their old foes, Kaizer Chiefs 1-0. Man of the moment, Neo Mayama, scoring in the first half as Downs eclipsed the previous PSL era record of 11, set by their great 2006-07 team under the guidance of the PSL legend himself, Gordon Egersund. Then Orlando Pirates, they secured back-to-back league wins for the first time this season. That was after thumping Stellenbosch 4-1. Then SuperSport United, they kept their unbeaten record at home intact following a 1-1 draw against Richards Bay. Then on to tennis, the year's first Grand Slam serving up some upsets. Top seed Iga Swiatek is out of the Australian Open. That was after losing to Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina in the 4th round. So the 22nd seed powered to a 6-4, 6-4 win in that one. Then less than half an hour later, Coco Gauff lost 7-5, 6-3 to Yelena Ostapenko. Then 3rd seed Jessica Pegula, the highest-ranked player left in the women's draw. In fact, she came through 7-5, 6-2 against her Czech opponent, Barbara Krejcikova. Then in the men's draw, third seed Stefanos Tsitsipas avoided a similar fate by claiming a thrilling 6-4, 6-4, 3-6, 4-6 and 6-3 marathon win over Italian Yannick Sinner to keep his dreams of a maiden Grand Slam title alive. And then finally, we round off with netball. And the Proteas showing some fire. They overcame a charging England in the dying minutes of their game to salvage a 46-all draw on day 2 of the Quad Series at the Cape Town International Convention Centre. So the tone was set from the first quarter when only 1 goal separated the two sides. Then in the dying moments of that fourth quarter, Carla Pretorius does what she does, and she proved how prodigious she can be, winning a vital interception, which Portita then summarily converted to register the first draw of the tournament. Next up, a tough challenge. Number 1 ranked team in the world, in fact, as SA face Australia. That one's tomorrow, so go and support the ladies if you can. Well, that's a wrap of your sport for this Monday morning. Let's hope the roads are looking a little less hectic this morning. Let's get you to work safely. Zoe's got the latest on the traffic front.
Thank you, Graham. And let's start off with traffic in Benoni, Johannesburg. There's been a multi-vehicle accident on the N12 westbound. It's after that ramp leading to Tom Jones. Both right lanes are obstructed. There's also traffic queuing all the way up until the N12 westbound at Putfontein Road. Then in Athlone, Cape Town, there's some congestion on the N2 inbound. It's at Jakes Gerwel Drive. Expect delays. Well, that's your traffic for this morning. Let's take a final look at your weather. And we start off with some news. 7 people at Kakamas in the Northern Cape have died, and this is due to the heat stroke in the past few weeks. Another is recovering in the Kakamas hospital. The Northern Cape Department of Health has confirmed that 5 people passed away and another is in the hospital. In the last few weeks, the Kakamas area experienced temperatures in the 40s. Kakamas and surrounding areas in the Northern Cape will be exempted from rolling blackouts due to water shedding. Kai Garib Municipality's Benny Kordum said, and I quote, "We have received approval from Eskom to supply a plan as to how we will handle our own load shedding," end of quote. Meanwhile, the SA Weather Service has said extreme high fire danger conditions are expected over the Kai Garib Municipality and northern parts of the Northern Cape, as well as the Kagisano Molopo Municipality of the Northwest. A heat wave is also expected over Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal until tomorrow. For our final morning and weather update, let's take a final look at those sunrise views. Irene, who shared this one from a resort in the Drakensberg. What a beautiful way to start off your day with stunning pink hues in the sky. Gail from Pelican Park shared this heavenly view with us as the sun cast a glow across the clouds. Owen Granger showcased this view of the sun playing peekaboo from behind the horizon in Lakeside. And finally, Nikki Haywood from KZN shared the stunning view of the tangerine lit sky as the sun rays beam. Share your sunrise views with us on WhatsApp. That number is 063 408 8863. Let's take a final look at today's temperatures. If you're in Polokwane, your low is 15, your high 30. Mbombela 16, 29. Pretoria sunny, 17 is your low, 32 your high. Johannesburg 15, reaching a high of 31. Mahikeng 1933, Klerksdorp 1834, Kimberley 19, reaching a high of 34, Bloemfontein 1432, Richards Bay, your low is 23, your high 35. If you're in Pietermaritzburg, 19 is your low, 35 your high. Durban 23, reaching a high of 31, Mthatha 20 with a high of 31, East London 24, reaching a high of 30, Cradock 1934, Gqeberha 21 with a high of 29, George 1828, Cape Town 1625, Worcester, your low is 14, your high 35, Sutherland 1031, and Uppington, your low for today 22, and your high a hot 38 degrees Celsius. Well, that's a wrap on your weather right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thanks so much, Zoe Brown. I'm still hanging out with the Mzansi Tenors right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Now, they are on a mission to elevate classical crossover music all across South Africa. And one of the steps that they're taking on that journey is by hosting their very first solo production at Theatre on the Bay. And you can catch that from the 25th to the 28th of January. Get your tickets. Here's a taste of what you can expect at the show. Here they are performing the evergreen My Way.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, so few to mention. I did what I had to do. I saw it through without exemption. I planned each other course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew when I beat off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it all and spit it out. I faced it all and I stood tall and did it my Yes, it was
Wonderful performance. Great way once again to start off your Monday morning. I truly hope that you did enjoy that. And if you did, please make sure that you get your tickets to that show. It'll be on the stage at Theatre on the Bay, starting off from the 25th of January, featuring the Mzansi Tenors. And we'll have one more performance coming your way. Stay tuned.
It's The Crush. Unlock your 100% TV show. Catch all the excitement as we unlock Crush fans' full potential to live their dreams. Watch the show on SABC2 starting on the 1st of February every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Plus, you stand a chance to win your share of thousands of prizes. Simply buy any Crush and follow the pack for entry details. Crush. 100% goodness.
It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on S3. Now, if you heard in the 8 o'clock news, we were talking about this next topic. Statistics estimated that 3 times as many tigers are in captivity than they are in the wild. And tigers are not native to Africa, which means that this endangered species is often subjected to illegal exporting and trading and medicinal use. Now, last week, 8-year-old tigress Sheba, all the way in Gauteng, escaped from an enclosure in a private home in Walkerville. And joining us to chat more about this incident and what later unfolded is Director of Four Paws SA, Fiona Miles. Good morning, Fiona.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Great to have you with us chatting about this, Sheba. And I think, Fiona, the first thing that I think a lot of people were asking themselves with regards to Sheba is, how did this person, I'm not sure who their name is, even come to acquiring a tiger, which is an exotic animal in a South African context because they're not native to South Africa, acquiring ownership of a tiger?
In South Africa, it's not too difficult to own a tiger because it's a non-native species. The permitting regulations are less than it would be for other animals. So one does need a permit, but one applies and can acquire a tiger, but from a sale, if you go online, there's many animals that you can actually purchase online. If I read the story correctly, the gentleman actually had them from his mother, and he was sort of looking after them. Apparently they were being kept behind electric fencing and so on, which is also a requirement. But it seems like there was some sabotage and those fences were cut, and of course eventually an animal would escape. And I think this is the whole idea behind us talking today, is to just sort of demonstrate how dangerous it is to own an exotic wild animal.
Definitely. Can you tell us more about the work that Four Paws do? Because I know that you also, not too long ago, captured 10 lions that were held in inappropriate captivity. What is the role that Four Paws does?
So we're an international animal welfare organization. We work very hard to reveal suffering of animals, to rescue those that can be rescued and keep them protected in our sanctuaries. More than that, I think a lot of work needs to go into campaigning and raising awareness and actually elevating the plight of these animals. And so in the case of the 10 lions, they were being kept in inappropriate conditions. They were kept illegally without permit. And we were asked by the authorities to bring them and give them a safe forever home at our Big Cat Sanctuary, Lions Rock in the Free State.
Yeah. Now, Sheba was an adult tiger. So one could be maybe fooled into thinking that over time, an animal like a tiger could be domesticated and it could be found to, kind of be friendly to human beings. Is that even possible when it comes to wild animals?
No, because they are wild. They have an instinct and a wild instinct. So the best you can do is to habituate them and train them, for want of a better word, within new circumstances and within a confined space. And
so even if you were to have them, let's say, from as little as a cub, and you were to hand raise them and, get them used to the environment, the instinct still remains?
Absolutely. And I think once that animal is exposed to a large area, does not have the confines anymore and does not have that routine, their natural instincts will kick in.
Sure. How does one go about containing the danger of, like the incident that played out where the tiger escaped an enclosed area in a, like Johannesburg is a big area. How do you protect livestock and human life and all the elements that can come with that? Is it even possible?
I don't think so, not without completely saying no to these exotic animals as pets in backyards. You're not going to be able to prevent these incidents going forward, and I think that's really an important and strong message to send to the authorities and send to people. Owning such an animal is such a huge responsibility, and keeping it confined is against its own natural behavior. And I think the biggest appeal we can make is that we should not be keeping wild animals as pets.
Yeah. And then, as was widely reported, that eventually Sheba was euthanized, given the permission by the owner. But, that's quite a significant decision to make. What does that say?
I think it must have been a very hard decision to make. I think anybody who has that responsibility can't feel well about it. And it just shows that at the end of the day, that animal should have actually been rescued, should have gone to a sanctuary, should have gone to a place of safety. And to have shot it and taken her life away as a consequence from our behavior as human beings is really, really frightful. So again, it goes back to the point of not having these animals as pets and in private keeping.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned. Yeah, we'll be continuing our discussion with Fiona shortly regarding this news that we've been reporting on. And of course, the opportunity is always there for you to weigh in on your opinion. Do send us your voice notes to 063-408-8863.
Oh, great to have Fiona back in studio, but we are saying keep the exotics in the kitchen. This next recipe has exploded on social media for all of the right reasons, and it's bound to end up on your list of favorites, no doubt.
I'd love another one, please, Mommy, with macho and lots of chat.
Another sandwich.
Clover Batro. Spread the dairy goodness.
Made with love by Clover.
So when it comes to meat-free Mondays, pasta often makes the menu. It's a great starting point. And if you love crunchy, savory breadcrumbs on a creamy pasta, maybe you've never even tried them, well then our Batro bagel, Pomegranate pasta. I hope I've said that right, is the dish for you. If not, Gabs is going to tell us exactly how to say it. Come on. Generations are resting.
Did I? You did.
But I think you're just saying that so you don't have to repeat it.
That too. But you know.
I love this. There is something about a pasta that is a budget beater. We love the fact that
we love a pasta.
You can use whatever is left in the kitchen. But this, for being a meat-free dish, is packing a punch. There are so many little morsels of different kinds of flavors. So where do we begin?
So we're going to start on our breadcrumb base.
Okay,
that's where we're going to start with. So that panga, you said it better than me. That one is that one is basically where you want to start. So I'm going to slice this bagel in half. I'm going to spread on our beetroot by Clover butter because I want to get nice and crispy. Spread. Yes, it's so easy to spread. Because then what I want to do is I want to pop this in the oven.
And that's how you get these beautiful, buttery, crispy.
Exactly.
Ooh.
So do you actually want to finish this aspect for me? Just butter the bread there, please.
I can.
Because then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start our pan. We've obviously already got ready cooked pasta here. And what I want to do is basically put all of our elements together. So very dependent on what you have at home, but what we've got today is some beautiful cream cheese. We've got some onion, which we finely chopped, tomatoes, capers for that little bit of Neapolitan flair here, garlic, chili, salt, pepper, some stock. It's going to be really, really delicious.
I love that, and the capers are quite salty. There's something about that flavour. It just ramps things up on a different level. Okay,
no, it's delicious. So you've got that sorted.
The batro.
Thank you. And I'm going to pop that in the oven.
For how long?
We're going to put that in just for about 10-15 minutes until you get like a crispiness. So you put it in there.
I'm going to do that.
I'm going to add some more of our beetroot to the pan so that we can get it nice and golden for our onions. So you can, if you want a time constraint, you can add everything in the pan. I just always like to slow cook onions first. I always like to cook my onions first, just because I feel like they get that caramelized taste, and no one wants raw onion, which is, unless you. If you want to have raw onion in a salad, that's your vibe, cool. But there's nothing worse than undercooked onion if it's supposed to be slow cooked, if you know what I mean.
No, 100%, I get that. And obviously, then if you're mixing everything together, that flavour of the onion before it's developed is going to, going to spread through everything.
You want to taste everything.
And yeah, obviously the key, the magic ingredient is our Clover Batro. Made with the goodness of dairy, Clover Batro is tasty, it's smooth, and I'll say it again, it is easy to spread. You don't destroy slices of bread along the way. Spreading Batro onto the bagel before toasting it gives it that delectable buttery flavour that is going to be, I think, the cherry on the top, literally, of this amazing pasta. And I would suggest that you make a double batch because this is a very tasty pasta that is perfect for sharing with your guests, and there is definitely going to be a call for seconds, I have a feeling.
Oh no, absolutely.
And the fact that this is so easy to do on a Monday, it's great. You're not thinking too hard about what you're doing. You can pat yourself on the back because you've gone meat-free.
Exactly, yeah.
So many plus points.
I mean, I'm just slicing our tomatoes here because I just feel like it cooks them a little bit faster. You can keep them whole. I just like to kind of open them up a little bit. Also, then I just feel like you get tomatoes through with every bite, but you can keep them whole. Also, the nice thing keeping them whole, it gives them that like juicy bite.
Yeah, no, for sure. I get it. You get the burst of flavor.
Yeah.
You know what I've been doing to make pasta sauces and things is I'll pop red onion, tomatoes, and a garlic clove in the air fryer. 25 minutes, and suddenly you get that roasted
Very clever
flavor profile coming through. So again, if you want to cut down the amount of time to have a flavor that feels like it's developed over hours,
yes,
the air fryer can help in that sense. Okay,
so there we go.
This is in, and now
I'm throwing in our capers.
Sneaky little capers.
And we're giving that a stir. And again, like I would, if I have the time, I would slow cook this a little bit longer. But just obviously for the sake of us just showing all the steps, I'm going to add now our cream cheese over here, which makes this nice and a beautiful creamy texture. And we've got a bit of vegetable stock over here.
And I suppose you could ramp this up in different directions if you want. I'm thinking like a sardine or a little bit of anchovy
yes, absolutely.
element in here.
If you aren't doing Meat Free Monday, that is a beautiful, beautiful option. The capers obviously give that nice little salty texture.
Umami kick here.
Yes. So I mean, I'm just going to let this kind of cook now.
And break itself down.
Let it do its vibe. Thankfully, we've already got our breadcrumbs ready. And yeah, I mean, basically, all you're going to do when you plate is you got your pasta,
Would you mix
toss in your cream sauce.
Would you mix the pasta in the pan with the sauce?
Absolutely, yes. Take your ready-made pasta, throw it into your pan, and then you're going to add your little bits of...
A little bit of cheese, a little bit of panko, well, our own version of our crumb, which we've created with our butter and our bagel, a little bit of lemon zest, and you've got a beautiful, fresh pasta that packs a punch this morning. Absolutely love this as a meat-free option. While we continue to cook for the masses this morning, I have a feeling this is going to be a crowd pleaser. You can go and try it for yourself at home. ExpressoShow.com is where you can find all of the ingredients and a play-by-play. Beautiful.
Made with love by Clover. Oh, you can make my day.
5 finalists, each paired with a professional chef over 3 rounds of a grueling bake-off and the sweet taste of victory or salty tears of defeat. Who will be crowned Golden Baker Search winner and take home 50,000 Rand? Find out as they bake their way to that grand cash prize. January the 24th to the 26th. Catch every minute of this delicious drama in the Golden Baker Search with Golden Cloud and Beacon only on Expresso.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on S3 on this Monday morning. Now, South Africa is playing quite a significant role in contributing to the decline of tigers. In fact, South Africa finds itself as one of the biggest importers of tigers, causing the illegal tiger trade to flourish while threatening wild populations. Certainly something that we cannot be proud of. We're back again with Fiona Miles, Director of Four Paws South Africa, and we'd like now to discuss a bit more around the laws and the regulations in South Africa with regards to owning an exotic or endangered species, something that I think all of us as a public need to know about.
And Fiona, I think I'm a little shocked at how easy it is for people to be able to hold these big cats in captivity. What are the current laws that can protect these exotic animals?
So South Africa has the National Environmental Management Biodiversity Act, and underneath that the Threatened or Protected Species Regulations, which then allow the permitting of and restriction of activities with these animals. So in principle, South Africa is not allowed to export big cat, specifically tigers, for the purpose of commercial purposes. And unfortunately, many different excuses are given to send these animals out, so zoos or for other purposes. And we actually are commercially trading with these animals.
Wow.
And we're not supposed to.
And we're not supposed to.
So, other than the work that you do at Four Paws, which I would only assume contributes positively towards conservation and further creation of awareness, are there any other bodies within the country that are mandated with keeping accurate statistics and locations and all those that relevant information that we need to know about the locations of these animals and who's keeping them? Are they qualified to keep them? Are there bodies that are mandated with that?
The Department for Environment, Forestries and Fisheries is supposed to keep records, and people are supposed to actually record the animals with them because they issue the permits. We did some PIA requests, access to information requests, and only 3 out of 9 provinces responded to the information or to the request for information. But as far as we understand, in the period from 2011 till 2020, unfortunately, 452 tigers were exported from South Africa. In that same period, 27,500 lions were the same. So we're a big exporter and the biggest exporter of big cats from this country. And obviously this is creating it. I mean, there's a huge demand, and we need to also stop the demand for these animals, because obviously they're going to Southeast Asia, to countries like Thailand, Vietnam, and they are being used in traditional Chinese medicine and so on. So we need to create a lot of awareness about the fact that there shouldn't be this demand for these animals. And South Africa, definitely, who's wanting to raise its conservation status and repair the reputation damage that has already been created by allowing this industry to perpetuate, we need to put a stop to it.
I'm interested to ask, because you touched on the fact that, these animals are used in, let's say, traditional medicines in some regions of the world. How does one begin to tackle that? Because you're fighting, let's say, a nation's beliefs and cultures in that regard. And on the one hand, there's conservation, which is to be regarded, because we don't want to end up in a future where these animals don't exist at all, purely because they were serving a belief that is not supported by everyone. So it's quite a sensitive issue. How does one begin to tackle that?
I think, firstly, knowledge is a very important thing, and I think if we can tackle it from our side by implementing stronger legislation, or at least implementing the legislation that we have. Obviously, compliance is a very difficult thing to monitor because there are more than or nearly 400 breeding farms in South Africa. That's really difficult for the government to be able to monitor and manage, and that's why it's needed to restrict it from our end and raise awareness. And I think that's generationally, in those countries, they've already outlawed and put aside and banned certain practices by themselves. So why are we continuing to feed into it?
How can we, as the public, step in and help and call for, how can we protect these exotic animals?
I think firstly and foremostly by not visiting any facility that actually is displaying them, allowing interactions with these animals, allowing you to cuddle cute little cubs, because we now know that those animals are ending up in this cycle, this vicious cycle of abuse. Secondly, it would be great if people can sign our petition, the Four Paws petition, on our website. We are putting a big ask to the government to include all big cat species in the upcoming changes to legislation. And then to make ourselves more aware, to also report instances of abuse. I think that's also really important.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for joining us, Fiona. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
And there you have it. Make sure to head on over to fourpaws.org.za if you would like to donate or to support any of their wildlife campaigns. Go and sign that petition. And if you know of any animals being abused or any illegal activities pertaining to endangered wildlife or any other animals, you are welcome to contact the SPCA. That number's on your screen now. It's 021-700-4140. I think it is up to us as people. It's our responsibility to protect these animals.
Thank you so much, Fiona, and our team. An incredibly eye-opening discussion, and of course that's what set the premise for our discussion this morning. So obviously, first protocol, if you see a tiger, you phone the SPCA. Then you phone us and drop us a voice note to tell us what you said or what you did. Now, having a little bit of fun with the story, just to lighten it a slight bit, we put it to you, if you saw a tiger roaming through your neighborhood, what's the first thing you would do or say? And we wanted some voice notes to come through. Let's hear what y'all had to say this morning.
Good morning, my Facebook family. I am Rosita here from Quebeca. I would run as fast as I can, and I would lock my door and look through the window to see which way it goes.
I like the fact that you locked that door because tigers are shifty. They figure things out. They got the long claws. Let's hear another one.
A very good morning to my Expresso family.
Morning.
If I see a tiger in the neighborhood, God knows I will faint. I won't be able to say anything. Thank you, Jocelyn Gardens. Bye.
Thank you, Jocelyn. She would faint, pass clean out. Have we got any more to share? Let's hear one more.
I'd lock myself in my car and look for a hidden dragon. By the way, it's Gary Oakham from East London.
Oh, Gary Oakham, finally we get to hear your voice. We love them. I don't know what I would do. Something tells me don't run because then you would look like prey to them. But I would probably follow Jocelyn's prime example and just pass out and faint. Let us know, what would you do if you had to encounter a tiger roaming the streets? 063-408-8863. We'd love to hear from you. In fact, if you want to chat about anything you've seen on the show today, that's the WhatsApp line to use.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your feel-good breakfast show. And it's time for some fun and games because it's back to school and settling in is never easy, but it takes time and we all get there eventually. So if you are back to school, back to work, getting back into that varsity routine, it can be a struggle, but having your favorite Tropica on hand will make it a smooth day. Now it is back to school not only for the kids, but for their caretakers too. So it's time to brush up on our maths, our science, our English and Afrikaans with our smooth Tropica. How smooth is your school game? I'm going to put Katlego against Graham, and we're going to ask you a couple of questions just to see how well you've done at school or how much you remember from your time at school. So are you ready?
I feel like I'm about to be embarrassed.
Yeah, oh no, I know.
I'll tell you what. There will be, it's multiple choice.
Okay. Wow.
You're happy with that? So you've got your boards in front of you. I'm going to give you a few seconds to write down your answer. You're not allowed to copy each other or work together.
Ma'am, can I go to the toilet, please?
No, we are in session. Let's get ready for the first question. A, B, or C is your answer. So question 1.
Okay.
Here is a science question. Which chemical element in the periodic table has the symbol Fe? Is it A, silver, B, copper, or C, iron? A, silver, B, copper, or C, iron?
Almost dropped
Are you
my
ready
pen.
to reveal your answer?
Yes.
In 3, 2, 1, show your... You both have C. It is correct. Iron is...
Ma'am, do I get extra marks for the creativity? Because I did the... No? Okay, no extra marks. Sharp. No, sharp, ma'am.
Answer the question.
It's fine, ma'am. It's fine,
A
ma'am.
point each, okay. Question number 2. Get ready for a maths question.
All right.
Which of the
get out of here.
following is a prime number? Is it
good.
13, 27, or 95? 13, 27, or 95? Which of those is a prime number?
Jeez, I don't even know. Wait. Oh.
Wait.
Graham, leave the lid. Write the answer.
It's falling down.
I feel like I've even forgotten what the definition of a prime number is, though. Like it's a
I feel
very
like I can't give you the answer without...
I know.
Okay, quickly, give me your answer. Okay, reveal the answer.
I think I'm wrong.
Okay, you went with B27. You both are wrong.
Wow. I was 13.
There's a number that cannot be divided
Oh, you see.
by
Can I have a...
it can only be divided by itself.
Can I have a chat to my brain quickly? I just would,
I
come
think
on,
the definition
come on,
was
you
wrong.
Can try a little bit
13.
harder. Okay, come on.
Wait,
I'm there.
what's 27 divisible by then? By
3.
itself and 3. Is it 3?
3.
3 is what? 7?
9. 9 times 3 is 27.
Now my grade R, my son who's in grade R, has just surpassed my educational might. Okay.
Are you ready for question 3?
I don't know, Zoe, if we are.
So
Okay, but I'll
wait, you didn't both didn't point there, hey?
No.
Question 3. What is the closest planet to the sun in the solar system? Is it A, Mars, B, Mercury, C, Neptune? A, B, or C?
What's the first one?
Mars, B, Mercury, C, Neptune.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1, reveal your answer. Graham has gone with option B. Kat's gone with option B, Mercury. Can we reveal the correct
Yes,
answer?
man! I promise you I did go to school. I did.
It is correct.
That was touch and go. You know how I remembered it? Phoenix in the song. Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Mars, Chevalier, Jupiter, along the stars. I'm like, yeah, it's Mercury first.
Like I said, our grade R just surpassed us.
2 points each. Let's see who can come out the smooth winner. Question 4.
One more. Oh.
This is a natural science question for you.
Okay.
Okay. During the process of photosynthesis, what do trees produce? Is it A, glucose and oxygen, B, carbon dioxide and water, or C, water and oxygen? Should be easy, guys.
Hold on. For a clever person.
Reveal the answer. Okay, I think Katlejo is correct. Can we just confirm the answer?
What did
Carbon dioxide and water.
No!
So, the correct answer.
Water, really?
It's
And
B.
wait, hold on.
was water in,
Carbon dioxide and
oxygen
what?
out.
Water.
During photosynthesis, trees absorb the carbon dioxide from the air, then produce the
Use
oxygen that we breathe, and then
the
water
sugar.
on their leaves. It's definitely C. Guys.
We're going to have to go back and repeat school.
VAR. No. I'm calling VAR in that one. That's just...
Listen, let's move on to the final question for now. We'll get back to that one, but let's see
Someone's
how
being fined for a
smooth your
season.
Afrikaans is. Here is your scenario. I get to school to look for the grade 1 class. I see there's a kind lady, but she only speaks Afrikaans. So how will I ask her where to find the grade 1 class in Afrikaans? You don't have to write it down. You
Okay.
just speak this one.
Excuse mevrou. Hoe gaan dit? Dankie. Waar is die graad 1 se klaskamer?
Wow.
Asseblief.
Our producer
Ja,
just
mevrou.
helped out in our ear.
She did.
That's
She did.
yeah.
Cheating.
Yeah.
Ja,
Gaan jy-
mevrou of mevrou?
Ek sou sê goeiemôre juffrou, want mense is nie seker of dit 'n juffrou of 'n mevrou is nie, as hulle getroud of dan nie. En dan sal jy dalk vra waar mag ek die graad 1 klaskamer vind?
Hoekom?
No, it's both
Want ek is
correct, but Graham got cheated with because our producer.
I'll take it, I'll
helped
accept it.
us. Congratulations, Kat. You are our smooth.
He went to school!
Tropical
And he did it!
winner.
Oh, my friend, before we send you
I
off to
said
go and cook
tropical,
us
I meant
one
tropica.
last delicious meal, that is for you. And it's a lunchbox size as well.
Oh.
Cheers, buddy.
Well, because you're the winner, you can go to the kitchen and cook.
Is that my prize?
Yes.
Yay!
That was without a doubt the most challenging thing we've done all year. I have to say. I have to
When
say.
in doubt, just guess.
Just
but
guess
if
and
you
do it.
are back at school, well, it is always not so smooth. Simply grab a Tropica because there really is nothing smoother.
It is so good.
So tell me, when trees or in nature, do you remember?
My recipe was on.
What, you on your phone? I'm like, what's going on? But okay, because I need this cleared out. I've got a real problem with what just happened. During photosynthesis, what do trees produce?
What do trees produce?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, now you're asking about science. You know, that's like one subject I failed
So
in
don't they
school.
take carbon dioxide out of the air and then they produce oxygen?
Yes, they
right?
do. That's what they do.
And
They take it
then-
out the air, they produce oxygen.
And then the other thing, I don't know where these guys listen.
Chlorophyll is what makes it green. I do
Oh, there
remember
we
that.
go.
I do remember that from
Chlorophyll
bio.
makes it green and fries makes it delicious. Which is why Fries is amplifying your meals this Veganuary with their 101 recipe spinning wheel, making a plant-based life easier and guaranteeing tasty meals. Now amplify your meatless Monday with this indulgent Italian meatball sub with spinach and walnut pesto. And this plant-based sub is juicy, it's delicious with layers of Italian flavors. And Gabby's here to show us how to make it. I'm excited.
I'm excited because that was a beautiful introduction.
Let's start it off with our little science lesson there. Okay, where do we begin with this recipe then?
Okay, so what we are doing today is everyone knows the elements. You're going to help me with the pesto.
Lovely.
Beautiful green pesto happening. We've got a tomato-based sauce. And we've obviously got our fries family, no meat meatballs.
Yes.
So very excited. And then we obviously have got our beautiful toasted bread, which is going to be like our sub. And I'm really excited to watch you try and put that in your mouth afterwards.
Tell me, as I'm looking at those
It's a lot of
ingredients,
food.
right, I've been trying to perfect my bolognese.
Yes.
Right, that sauce. There's a
Yes.
certain flavor profile that you need to nail. Are these the basic ingredients for
Yes,
a
you can use
bolognese?
it for anything. It's a basic Napolitana, and you use it for anything.
Also for pizza as well.
Yeah, you can use it for pizza as well. And also onion.
Manja.
Onion is yes. It's onion. You don't actually always need to use onion in a tomato sauce. A lot of people think it's a staple.
Yeah.
If you don't have onion, it's not a stress. The pointer of making a tomato sauce is your slow cooking of the tomato.
Time. You need time. Okay.
Because then if you have the time, you don't need to add things like sugar to it because tomatoes are naturally sweet.
Oh, so that's my problem. So whenever I'm making a bolognese, right?
Yes.
I'm always like, it just doesn't hit the spot.
It tastes tart.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's because I'm not giving it enough time.
Yes.
How
Listen,
much time?
all the nonnas add sugar to it. I know, I've seen it. Okay?
All the nonnas?
They all do, even though they have the time. 'cause I mean,
Who are the nonnas? Is that an exclusive group?
Yes, it is.
Are they-
It's plural. It's plural. I'm sorry. Not there, shall I say that?
Is it the grandmas?
Yes.
Oh.
And their sisters and
Oh.
stuff. Like, they all do. I've seen it, okay? I was really shocked, but you know what? They do it. And they put all the time in the world, they still add sugar. So anyways, okay.
Okay.
So what we're going to be doing after our onion is, in the meantime, while I'm on this sauce,
Yes.
do you want to start our pesto?
Lovely.
You got your spinach,
Mhm.
olive oil, garlic, walnuts, also great plant-based protein there.
Yes.
And we've got some nutritional yeast to give us that beautiful cheesy flavor, sans the cheese.
Beautiful.
And then obviously our garlic and our seasoning.
This is just for tasting, right? We just
for
a
some
pinch.
taste. A little bit of a, I mean, it looks beautiful and creamy.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I am adding, from our onions, I'm adding our garlic.
Are we going with all of the olive oil in here?
Yes.
Okay,
I
just
think
given
so.
the ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's going to
Bring
make
up
our
our piece a
beautiful
little bit.
pesto. And then we're going to get with the spinach. Get all of it in here, I hope. Here we go.
And then, I'm going to add now our tomato and our seasoning.
So it's This easy to put it all together.
It's that
Okay.
easy. Especially when you have a blender, it makes life a lot easier.
What, do you use a pestle and mortar at home to make a pesto?
I don't.
Yo! I was like, that's
You
time.
can. If you really want to be authentic about it, you can. But I don't recommend it unless you didn't get to gym that day. I guess that's your workout.
There we go. And then you're going to get bang. Right
It's
there.
a great scapegoat that was a little bit thick for that. So I've got our tomato going, and I've got a little bit of extra spinach over there. You're also gonna add some fresh basil if you want to. And yeah, I'm gonna just sort of like let that simmer there.
Yes.
And obviously we've also got our Fries family meatballs, meatless meatballs. In our pan, I'm gonna get some out the box, but thankfully while they're cooking,
ahead.
we have some
Exactly.
ready made. I just wanna show everyone what they look like.
Yes, and how
in the
easy
raw
it is.
form.
Yes.
And how easy it is.
Show me. So would those be like straight from the freezer?
Straight from the freezer.
Like that.
Convenience at its finest. Listen,
Cut it
I'm
up with use the scissor.
That's
that could help.
helpful. That's helpful. Thank you. That's
And
why
you
they
just place
probably
them on
left
your
it here.
pan. Nothing on your pan. No pre-greasing. Nothing like that.
Nothing. These are great. If you want, you can add some olive oil if you're stressed about it sticking. But thankfully,
Alrighty.
these fries ones don't need it. which is
Listen,
excellent.
fries, no meatballs. These are no meatballs. They are absolutely perfect in a pasta. You can use them in lunch boxes or even as a healthy snack. Both kids and adults can enjoy them with sweet chili sauce or some hummus with fresh vegetables as well. They are a very good source of protein, naturally cholesterol-free, and a good source of fiber as well. And so for more nutritious plant-based recipes, head on over to the Fries Family website and find this recipe also on our website, expressoshow.com. Let's quickly smash one together. So
Okay,
you're going to go...
so we got our beautiful pesto, layer of pesto, okay? Then...
want to get going soon.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna do our tomato, or you can do your meatballs first. But I'm gonna do some tomato.
I'll tell you what,
here.
let's finish this off. We're going to go to an ad break, and when we come back,
yes,
we'll show you what this looks like as we smash into it at the end of the show. Wonderful.
Five finalists, each paired with a professional chef over 3 rounds of a grueling bake-off and the sweet taste of victory or salty tears of defeat. Who will be crowned Golden Baker Search winner and take home 50,000 Rand? Find out as they bake their way to that grand cash prize, January the 24th to the 26th. Catch every minute of this delicious drama in the Golden Baker Search with Golden Cloud and Beacon, only on Expresso.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It is indeed. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Take a look at the finished product, looking all kinds of delicious, and I hope that that has inspired you on this Monday morning. And for some further inspiration, here are the Mzansi Tenors ending us off with Do You Hear the People Sing?
Singing a song of angry man. It is the music of the people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Will you join in our crusade? Who will be strong and stand with me? Beyond the barricade, is there a world you long to see? Then join in the fight that will give you the right to be free. Do you hear the people sing, singing a song of angry men? It is the music of the people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Oh, you ever mark away, never me ngoma for you. Then I ngoma yabantu abata sobokoka. Is increase and easier, sikutaza amagwala. Ithi kukalu omi kakufiki ngomso. Ithi kukalu omi kakufiki ngomso.
The Mzansi Tenors on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. What a way to shut it down. Thank you so much for joining us. Take a bow, gentlemen. Beautiful performance. Check them out at Theatre on the Bay on the 25th of January. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Adios. Try those new cookbook recipes out this year, or stick with the timeless classics. Either way, they'll always taste their best when made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good